If you are you might be in the market for a brand new car.
Yep.
You might want an adventure car. Well, I would try to kick you in the Subaru direction because they're awesome cars. Tons of our listeners, at this point, we said it in the Streamline ad, hundreds of listeners have bought Subarus and Chevys, because we got a Chevy guy too if you need that.
Yeah, there are 2 car dealerships that have been advertising with us for over a decade now.
Yeah, it's almost like 15 years.
And it's Sports Subaru right there on North John Young Parkway. They have no dealer fee, lifetime powertrain warranty. You talk to Mike Stacks over there. He'll hook you up.
Yep.
Check out that new EV Subaru they got. It's really awesome.
It's beautiful.
And then also the other dealership that advertises with us is Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont. JC Harrelson is the sales GM over there. He'll put you in contact with a salesperson that will take care of you. You're looking for a Chevy Traverse. I've got my wife's Traverse there. Yeah. My Chevy Silverado there.
My favorite car that you ever had, your WRX. If you want something a little sporty and fun, pick something up
on the Subaru side.
Yeah, man.
And so check out those 2 dealerships. Tell them that Tom and Dan sent you. But again, talk to Mike Stacks over at Sports Subaru, North John Young Parkway, and JC Harrelson at Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got Joe from Fairvilla Megastore in here today. To talk about an event going on tomorrow, February 19th, Cocktails and Consent, and it involves a burlesque.
Oh, I thought that was a joke.
That's
fantastic. It's a real thing. Oh, it's a real thing. Cocktails and Consent, that's hilarious. Who wrote that? I love it.
And Ivy is also here from Les Vixen's burlesque troupe, who's going to be at the event performing tomorrow.
Performing, hosting.
All right. Okay. All right.
Hey, I love it.
So Ivy,
burlesque, you came to the right show. We are the burlesque guys.
I knew where to bring her.
I said, boylesque, let's go.
Boylesque. Do you like boylesque?
What is that? Burlesque with boys?
I thought you were wearing your tearaway pants today, but
he
not,
would be the guy to do it. He would be.
You should see
Let
him
me
in
give
a
you
kilt.
some compliments. Like you are looking like a camping snack, buddy. Let me just tell you right now. When you came in this morning, fresh and tan off your camping trip, I wanted to eat you up like a Little Debbie cake.
It's a camping snack.
I can't take you seriously because you look homeless. I was just talking about it.
And you're talking like a homeless man,
The longer
too.
my hair gets and the more homelessly I look, the more I'm into hot mint. I'm becoming an old gay homeless man.
I knew it. I wrote that down right when we started business.
And my wife asked me that. She's like, what do you want to achieve in 2025? And I'm like, well, I've been a famous podcaster, famous radio guy. I think homeless gay man's where I want to go.
I think we can evolve as a people.
Yeah, let's do it.
Big dreams.
First, before we speak to Ivy about...
Oh, sorry.
Because I got a lot of burlesque questions.
And let me correct myself. Unhoused gay man.
Okay. So, you got to check out this event at Fairvilla. Fairvilla does their events right.
I'm sick of
It's gonna
telling
be
people.
awesome.
I'm sick
And
of
it's going to
telling
be
people all the
not
stuff.
Fairvilla.
Yeah, we're going to get there. We have surprises, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
What are you sick of telling people, though?
Well, just how good your parties are and that you give away a bunch of free stuff.
I hate to say how true that is because actually that's what I wanted to say. It was a big thank you to Central Florida because we just had an epic Valentine's party, which actually is why we are here together today. Relationships begin out of amazing things, but we had over 300 people packed in there. We gave away almost $5,000 worth of stuff. We had such an epic performance. We broke the stage. It was that kind of party.
I know.
broke the stage.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we
Oh
did.
my God! They're doing some blood pumping on there or something. What were you doing?
How'd it break?
I mean, I'm
You had to be there to
Yeah,
see it.
it was
Sorry,
a moment.
we're not
It
spilling any
was from a
secrets.
universal epic. It was
Had to
amazing.
be there.
Yeah,
First
But
ever
we
quadruple
had
penetration.
we had a dirty talk class. It was just a stellar time. Good time was had by all. Seriously good vibes. There was a lot going on. Amazing people in attendance. So we're just super grateful for you guys for coming out and for your support.
Awesome.
But that is how I found this stunning beauty sitting next to me.
Hey.
Actually, we were brought into each other's lives about a year ago by conversation. And, timing is amazing. It's a gift, right? And so literally as the Valentine's party was coming together and we knew that we needed to up level it, we went looking for the best.
All right.
And hello, only did we find them, but we married them.
We are besties for the rest of
Oh my God, this is what you and I sound like. I feel like on the show. People are like, "Oh my God, it's disgusting."
Well, let me tell you. I mean, again, it's beautiful creatures are amazing, but the ones that are beautiful from the inside out and just make the world a better place.
And
so
on
they
the
kind
outside.
It's all pink on the inside. That's what I say.
Listen, I look at all the highs in this room. But to be able to spend time with someone who believes that what they do has a sense of purpose and is sexy about it all day, could listen to her talk. So wanted to bring her in today because not only does Liz Vixens do amazing things, and they are, I think we were just sharing, actually, we were sharing awards on our way in. So Watermark, I was celebrating, we are the second best Orlando's adult novelty store. And I played it up and we're excited, and thanks to Orlando, appreciate you. But Mrs., would you share your awards?
Oh, yeah. Well, I am Orlando's #1 stage performer non-drag and Orlando's #1 adult entertainer.
Oh my God!
And we are also...
Hold on.
Number one.
Blast. Everything.
The Les Vixens are also from the Orlando Weekly, the best burlesque troupe 6 years running. So
There you go.
All right. So
And we married them.
I love
we
that.
sure did.
when you say adult entertainer,
Well, yeah.
what?
I'm an adult and I entertain.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So, but you
I've
don't
never
mean
thought of it like that.
Well, you know.
like the stereotype of adult
Correct.
entertainer. Not that.
Well, burlesque is the art of the tease, and we do take off our clothes. So.
Which is its own kink, as we talked about last month.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I like it when they keep it on. I like it when they put more on.
We've done that. We've done a reverse strip.
I do love that. Yeah.
Why do you like that?
I don't know. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy. I'm a homeless gay man. You just told me that.
I wish I could shoot
women
rock
put
salt
your-
at you.
You can't.
Get off my train.
But it's the only-
Unhoused.
But it's the only thing I truly love as a homeless gay man. I love rock salt. If you shoot it at me, I can't get enough.
And you love it when women put their clothes back on.
Yeah, I do.
The
I
gay
do.
part.
I just love the unexpected.
So Ivy,
Yes.
I was looking at your Facebook page.
Of course he was. Yeah, and he had the door
Well, I
shut.
did my
He had the
research.
door shut in there. It sounded,
No, I
like,
didn't.
he was in there stepping on ducks.
No,
That's where you keep the Favela stash,
No.
too.
Yeah. I was like, what are you doing in there? Sounds like somebody's unclogging a toilet.
because there is a wide spectrum of burlesque. I feel like,
sure is.
and then when you hear burlesque, you're like, okay, it could be like a Moulin Rouge type of very.
That's a long move you put on that.
Well, a lot of feathers and corsets, and there's whereas not that much skin showing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little Creole lady marmalade, if you will.
The razzle dazzle.
Yeah. Little Kim will do some.
Yeah.
Don't do nothing, Little Kim. Just why they even highlight that?
Every time we talk about Moulin Rouge,
I'm sorry.
we get stuck on Little Kim.
I knew there was lore here. I just watched all that happen.
Yeah, because, we get very angry.
All the other performers did a run, and then she
Christina
just,
Aguilera did a beautiful run and showed off her vocal chops. I mean, Maya, who's forgotten about Maya? Maya, still very powerful singer. And then they got the Little Kim, and they're like, do something. She goes, and everybody's like, oh, that's not good.
but they put it in.
Yeah, they said, you know what? Perfect.
Yeah, it's all she had.
Loved
It's
it.
all she had. And don't go looking at her now.
Back to the spectrum.
Correct.
So, and then I looked at the burlesque that you're doing, and it's
You liked it, didn't you?
spicier.
Yeah, it's spicier
So
burlesque.
it's like,
It was like Burlesque
right?
Plus. It was like Burlesque
Orlando's
Plus.
favorite.
Spicy.
Well, I'll tell you what, we actually do run the entire spectrum. So we go
Okay.
from the super glam, the sparkles, the feathers, the top hats, the corsets, all the way to super nerdlesque. I mean, we've done literally every theme possible. So we like literally do it all. We do neo burlesque, classic burlesque, nerdlesque.
Is that a gamer's dream?
It sure is. We actually have a video game vixen show coming up at the end of the month. So yeah.
Oh,
so
my God, Metroid.
we do.
People
Yeah.
don't know Metroid. That whole thing,
If you
that's
want
a lady.
to, you want to see Wolverine strip? What's up? I got you. So-
Okay.
God, you're going to be
Ivy.
Wolverine?
I sure will be Wolverine.
Are you gonna have chops?
I'm trying to borrow yours.
Yeah,
So.
well, these are disgusting. You don't want mine, but we can get you some.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Let's go to this.
Oh, you gotta have boner spikes.
yeah. You
Coming
do.
out of your
I
mouth.
sure will.
Yeah, they're made of aluminium.
Favela on the way.
And I'm going from new school Wolverine into old school, like video game Wolverine. So that's the gag.
I can
there.
I can see the chat room buying tickets right now. Yeah, I can
As you
see them.
should. Yeah, it's at 1 Up.
Is there
on K-Bar.
anything you can't do in burlesque? What are the rules? Give us the
Well,
like the
it really
rules
does
of burlesque.
It depends on your county and also your state and,
Right.
and the blue laws and et cetera.
Well, I thought that was considered art. Like you could do
It's-
anything you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I said.
Okay,
that's what I said. But then, because I travel, I do shows all over the country, and so I have a troupe of 16, and we do shows all over. I mean, there's 28 days in February. I have 27 gigs.
Wow.
So yeah, she's a busy lady.
Every day, if there's someone on burlesque on a Wednesday,
except for today. Today is the only day, so we're here.
In fact, I actually prefer a Tuesday burlesque.
Well, we do Tuesday burlesque.
Yeah, I like that.
Every day of the week. There's no rest.
Tuesdays
for the wicked,
with burlesque is a book I'm writing.
So
quit it with your dreams, bro.
Real dumb.
Stick to your lane.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want this to sound creepy at all, and this does not. It shouldn't come off as creepy.
I like beer.
I'm really enjoying the preface here. All right, I'm buckled up
because as it comes out of my mouth, and I can see the chat room.
What's wrong with a little boofing?
Everybody's cringing, like, "Oh my God, Tom's making it weird. He's awkward or whatever."
So we have, "Oh God, here we go." When you start a sentence like that,
yeah. Shut up, chat room. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, and then I'm sorry, Joe. So then we have our saleswoman firing a warning shot to the client from the chat room. That's wild.
What happens?
That's never happened before.
Love you.
What happens, Ivy, is that I'm a regular old nerd dad, right?
Yeah.
That has kids, that goes camping trips.
Yeah.
Clearly, I see the tan.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, my life doesn't, is not fun anymore. There's like a lot of nerd dads out there.
American Beauties working out in the garage as the pedals land on his head.
Yeah. And then, and imagine me and a lot of nerd dads out there. We haven't seen a woman out there, in scantily clad in person in decades at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because our, in the 20s, our strip club days are over.
They don't do anything
fun.
Maybe your homeless gay partner keeps telling you to go to the strip club, but you don't want to do it because you think it's inappropriate.
Your old lady won't let you go.
But your homeless business partner, he's still got a little fun left in him.
And then I'm looking at this burlesque show, and I'm like, this is...
You got to go for the show. You got to go for our show.
It checks a box that me and a lot of other nerd dads have been missing out there in our lives, where we have some excitement and see some burlesque and some women
there is something different about
take your wives
performing.
No.
Oh, no, yeah,
Joe,
you
I'll cut that part out.
Oh, no, this is good business.
Bring your wife. Let me tell you.
No.
We will seduce her to the point where she will feel so empowered and so hot that you will be seeing scantily clad lady at home.
I don't want to see her. I want to see you guys doing it, right? I want to see you guys doing it, and then when I get home, I want her to be like, "All right," and then just turn the lights on.
But then also, my wife, she is, I think she's jealous, and then there's a lot of beautiful women performing, and then if I show that I like it too much,
you can't even show that.
Let me tell you what. This is why I'm a professional, because if you brought your wife, let's just say, not only would she not feel intimidated because of the way we host our shows, the way the girls perform, it is so magical, empowering, and there's actually no intimidation for women, especially when they bring their men, because we ignore you and we focus on her.
Oh, okay, all right.
And she's gonna feel like the hottest piece of shit in the world. Like she's gonna love it, and that's part of the art of the tease, is that we create this really comfortable space that's also incredibly hot. So it's a lot of emotions. You're gonna need to text your therapist after, but it'll rock your world. And especially our video game Vixen show coming up, hello, that one's gonna be you're gonna see
you ever gotten a boner for Pac-Man? I have.
We have Angry Birds coming out. We have an Angry Birds act. So
I love that. I'll be one of the pigs and just let the bird sit all over me.
I'm telling you what,
sit on me, bird.
It's
all
art,
I want to be
magic.
is smothered by those. They just make these rudimentary houses out of just regular rectangles. All I want is for that one red bird just to sit on me.
Well, the red bird will be at the show.
And I'm just a little pig with a crown on.
Actually,
he's a crown pig.
Yeah, I'm just a crown pig, a gay homeless man.
You got the boomerang bird?
I'll go from pig to where we're going to go. But what's really exciting about what she's talking about in creating that amazing atmosphere that's so welcoming, that's so non-invasive, that removes all the shame and brings up all the sexuality, right?
Yeah.
Super exciting. And that kind of does lead into part of the conversation why we're doing the event tomorrow.
Correct.
There's all kinds of stuff happening in the world right now, right? And there's all kinds of people asking all kinds of questions questions and figuring out their own boundaries.
Sure.
And so it's really fun is that in this partnership, we have the opportunity to take it to a place. It's not at Fair Villa. Tomorrow night is at Southern Nights, actually.
right.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
You can get away with a lot more there. I know that.
Well, your unhoused gay man is
Totally welcome. It's a safe place for you.
My gay friends have told me about it.
Yeah.
About my gay partying.
Yeah. I live outside there.
Let's go back to the birds. But what's fun is it gives Fairville University and our educators and these amazing performers, entertainers, also advocates, activists, educators in their own right, the opportunity to come together and in a community with so many questions, be able to, without shame, with sexuality, with fun, be able to have a conversation that really matters. And so I really honor you for that. Thank you for allowing us the space to do that.
One of the things that I do as a performer, I feel like I have this like platform of sparkly boobs and I reel people in with that, and then I'm like, bam, mental health, bam, pride, bam, advocacy, and it's part of the artistry is advocacy. So a lot of what we're doing is not just simply shaking ass and twirling tassels, which we are professionals at that, but it is this creation of like a lot of like sensuality, advocacy, building up people's self-esteem, building up their feeling empowered so they can go out into the world, feel more confident, feel more sexy and happier, and like they can like own it, whatever it is, you know?
Yeah, it's good turning them out.
You know? Own
She turned out about 4 straight girls at our party.
Did that too.
Yeah, they were calling, going, I think I might be. I'm like, yeah, that's all right.
It'd be like that. But one of the great things about the event tomorrow is that all the proceeds that we raise, all of our tips are going to Zebra Youth.
Oh, right on.
And what is that? I saw that.
Zebra Youth is they help LGBTQ plus at-risk youth. So if they get kicked out of their homes because they come out,
it happens a lot.
It sure does. And you'd think in 2025 we'd have flying cars and equality, and yet so
that's insane to me.
It truly is. But
because it's like, don't you know your kids? And so whatever they are,
we both
you
have
know
kids.
them.
We can't understand that. Like, the idea of looking at your child, something you created, and no matter what your child is into doing, whatever, like not having a bond to that child, like I have to my daughter, who like everything I look at her, there isn't a second that I like. We're even right now telling you this, I feel like I want to cry.
Yeah.
We can't wrap our brains around the father who can't handle who the daughter, the son, the whomever, and then kicks them out on the street. Don't be that person, man.
I wouldn't kick my sons out of my house for being a serial killer.
He is the worst one. He is the worst one. He wouldn't even call the cops.
100%.
They could murder me. They could murder me right now.
They married the homeless man?
And they'd be like, and he'd be cutting up my body in the street.
No, I wouldn't do
What's
that.
on record? Check there first.
But I'd just be like, barricade the doors. We'll go out in a blaze of glory. Because
I do support the blaze of glory.
And I'll shoot up in the air. I'll just let the cops shoot me.
So if you're like me, if you are like me and like Tom, and you can't, and you think about that, you have kids, and you can't even imagine being that type of person, well, then you can come to an event like this, and then you can throw a couple of dollars their way to help these kids, still function as human beings, because that's insanity. It is.
Southern Nights will be matching whatever you raise. So, and Zebra Youth, I mean, they're incredible. They do such great things for the community, from everything from housing to
I think we've even worked on this before with like care packages for trans youth and stuff like that. I think we've done this before, so this is good. It's good
great.
To hear this.
And we're going to put on a little show, so you get a great workshop on consent with Fairville University. So you kind of explore that, and then the Vixens will come and rock your world, and you can like make it rain, throw your money, and all of that money is going to go right to Zebra Youth. So we're using our art for more than just titillating audiences and entertaining. So.
And during the burlesque show, is there anything that you like technically should do to put it in the category of like this is a burlesque show, or can it be anything?
Well, I host all the shows, of course, and so there are certain things about burlesque. I mean, burlesque can be comedy, burlesque can be sexy, burlesque can be the umbrella of burlesque is massive.
Okay.
But typically there is an element of stripping, and there is an element of some sort of sensuality, costuming, that sort of thing. Typically. Not always. But for us, we usually, like I said, I'm going to be Wolverine stripping out of, a leather jacket into like the green and blue, and I got my... so there's such range, and that's one of the reasons I do what I do it because like I'm a theater nerd, so like it's like sexy theater. Each little vignette, each act can go from, anything really. I mean, we've had shows from like everything you can imagine. Like name something right now. We've probably done a show.
Edgar Allan Poe.
You mean Edgar Allan Poe?
Yeah,
we sure have.
Oh, yeah. There you go, Edgar Allan Poe.
There you go. We sure have.
You know what I would like for you to do? I would like for you to do an Adam Sandler Thanksgiving song. Burlesque.
Oh,
yeah. Why you
I feel like if anybody could pull it off, because you know what's one of the things that's amazing, one of the things that continues to turn me on about you and what you do actually is not just what they do, but how they do it. There's an element of, I've seen burlesque around the world. There's an element of connection that Ivy not only exudes just in honest authenticity, but that her troupe provides in any audience format. I mean, they can take a matchstick and make it a bonfire.
RoboCop would be good. I want RoboCop burlesque. That would be awesome.
Are you going to sponsor that show?
If you guys would do a nutty one, I guarantee you he'd open his wallet up 100%.
We've done so many Star Wars shows, Revenge of the Strip, like all the things. Yeah. So we can really do anything.
We got to do something.
Thank you, Joe, for saying that, because that's something that makes us really, I think, different from a lot of other performance art, is that we break the fourth wall and we make every single person in the room feel like they are the most special, only person in the room. Like this performance is for them, and it's this incredible connection, this reciprocity, because we're not just waiting for their applause. We're giving so much to the audience, and they feel that so deeply, because then and you can see it, the gay panic in the room. You can almost smell it. It's like so intense, and it feels great.
Hold on, what's the gay panic? I want to be involved.
I don't know, but I got it right now, and I feel like I got to get out of here.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Come to the show.
You're going to a gay panic.
Yeah. What if you don't come in the next day and you're like, I can't come in. I got a case of the gay panic. I'm like, oh.
Honestly, I'll get you a doctor's note for that, because I do have a doctor's costume, so I can bust that out.
Oh my God.
We also have many at Fair Villa.
You see the life that you could be living? You see the life you could be living?
Yeah. I know. I've seen the videos. Nurse is a kink out there.
Good.
And doctor, too.
Yeah.
Although the doctor is gone a little too far.
Yeah. And why is the nurse always my stepmom, and she always comes in and she's like, we got to get rid of that thing.
Why are we talking about your dreams right now?
Isn't it wonderful that we have this class on consent tomorrow?
Hold on, that's my stepmom. I'll consent to her doing anything. That's my stepmom. My dad's marrying her.
I'm like, do you know this is not a regular exam? Or, wait a minute.
There could also be a Fair Villa craft involved, and I just want to assure everyone it will not be medically
I'm
based.
like, where's the doctor? And where's your credentials? You have no credentials whatsoever, and you're not wearing a bra, ma'am.
Wow.
Dr. Hottie has all the credentials. Come on.
So again, this is at Southern Nights tomorrow, February 19th.
7 to 9.
And is there like a door charge, something like that?
We're going to ask for a donation at the door.
Okay, there you go.
Whatever you're feeling, and then tips throughout the performances. So... yeah, you get to tip a performer and then know that that's going
that's
really
cool.
great.
Normally during the performances, it's kind of like, special to try. Like sometimes I remember going and like, you better get up there and get ready to tip, because there could be a line.
Yes.
They
trample each other to give them
know
money.
your etiquette, have your money out, get ready to go.
Yep. And at the start of our shows, I always ask for consent. I say, y'all aren't allowed, don't grab us, don't slap us, any of that bullshit. But do we have consent to touch you? And then everyone goes crazy. And then I say, also, if a costume piece comes flying at you, take a good sniff and give it back. Don't steal our shit. So, we'll guide you through the show. Don't worry. I've got you.
There you go.
Yes, I'm like your safari guide. We've done a safari show as well.
I love it. Safari. That'd be good. Pith helmet. I like a good pith.
And a lot of, like, I know there's a lot of straight nerd dads that are intimidated by gay bars, but me and Daniel, we used to go to Stonewall before every single Orlando City game.
Well, because it was so hard, it was so stressful to do those announcements.
Right across the street.
Because you're doing them on the fly, and they're easy for true professionals like Sabrina and Ross Padgett, because they're true professionals. But for two dum-dums like you and I, we would get very nervous about it. So we would go into Stonewall Bar on the back patio, and man, that's just sitting back there hammering Bud Lights. Oh, it's so fun.
Well, there's no difference between a straight bar and a gay bar.
No, people think there was better.
It's a bar.
It's something different.
And this is actually, as you guys have been talking, this is actually a spectacular event for parents to come have a date night, because you get an amazing show that, if burlesque is something that you've loved to want to experience but never have, great gateway performance, right?
True.
Also, you're supporting the youth in our community. If you have anyone that's in the community in your family, it's a good opportunity to give back. We're going to do a craft. We're going to teach a class taught by credentialed educators, actually. And then we're going to watch some amazing hotties do their thing. And it's spectacular. What a great way to spend a Wednesday night. 7 to 9, you'll be home before bedtime.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah.
But it's also, like I said, for a lot of our audience who hasn't seen another woman scantily clad in 20 years, it's a great opportunity to be like, hey, let's go raise some good money for charity.
Yes.
And then your wife, you trick your wife into going, and then you're sitting back there getting drunk and seeing an amazing show.
Not a bad idea.
You never normally see.
Is this just your plan?
Well, I imagine it's a lot of people's plan out there. They're like, well...
And we love that. We love a plan.
Come on. You're going to go to support. And I'm saying, and check out the Facebook. Plug your Facebook, just so they understand what they're seeing.
Yeah. Also our website, lesvixens.com, lesvixens.com. And then Les Vixens Burlesque is the Facebook, so you can type that in. And then Les Vixens Burlesque is also the Instagram. I believe in you. You can spell burlesque. You got this. So LESVIXENS Burlesque.
There you go.
Yeah. And it's, G-string crazy. Do they
still call them that anymore? G-strings? Is that still?
No, that's how 90s.
And their pantaloons.
I was going to say thongs and thongs.
There you go. Yeah, we've got our first face and then our second face back there. So
their pantaloons are the cat's meow, I'll tell you. Like, what are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Well, for some of the best faces in Orlando, make sure you join us tomorrow night.
It's G-string crazy. You're like, what's that? It was like the old Leisure Suit Larry.
I'm sorry. It's super embarrassing.
Pasties.
Pasties and G-strings.
Do you guys make your own pasties, or do you have to purchase them?
Both. Fair Villa has a great selection, so those are really, really cute. We've definitely shopped there. I do make a lot of my own costumes. So a lot of the girls do, because you can't really find like a Wolverine costume that's strippable.
I made some pasties for my wife. It's just 2 orange Homer buckets.
Why'd you say that?
Got her.
Why? Let's talk.
I don't know why I would say that. It's not true. She's a very small-breasted woman.
Pasties, they have to just cover the areola to be technically a pasty. Anything more than
I like it all the way across. I like a full coverage.
That's
horizontal
body pasty.
I like
that's body paint.
I like my pasties like I like my panties. I like a full coverage.
No, that's that's not a pasty, right?
I mean... Well, pasties, yes, they have to cover the areola to be considered a pasty, but they can be bigger, smaller. You can have a pasty reveal all the kinds of things. They got tassels on them. Yeah. They can have, I have ones that I made that are Yodas. So,
okay.
Kind of like little Yoda faces?
They're Yoda faces.
Like baby Yodas.
Well, they're not baby Yodas. I mean, I know.
That would be pedophilia, I guess.
Honestly.
Didn't think about that. You'd have full-size adult Yoda on there.
Lunch does good things to you.
Yeah.
That's Grogu, not baby Yoda, by the way. It's never baby Yoda.
You are a nerd dad. Wow.
It is to me because I don't like Star Wars, and you know that. So I say it deliberately to make fun and to be mean to the Star Wars people.
Keep people on the edge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then where else can people find all the information about the burlesque troupe and everything else?
Like I said, our website, Facebook, Instagram, we post everything. We do a lot of we have so many shows, and because I'm a Virgo, I have them listed out on the website for the end of the year.
That's awesome.
So we have literally, you can get your tickets for all of our shows. We also have a lot of residencies. Every Saturday we're at Southern Nights for Girl the Party. Every Thursday we're in Gainesville for Mixing with Vixens at the UC.
You guys are working your asses off.
You have no idea, homie. We're at Cocktails and Screams all the time. Yeah,
I think that's where I've heard of you before, is from that.
Cocktails and Screams. Yeah, we work our asses off, and don't worry, they always return. So
but it is cool that burlesque is. I mean, like, you're like one of many troops that I know of the name, which is actually a good thing. That there's multiple people out there participating in the art form.
It's an amazing community we have here, especially in Florida. I mean, we've built it from the ground up.
Do we only have that because Orlando is truly a unique space, or Tampa, or is it like roller derby? Is it everywhere but just in small pockets, or what would you say?
I do think that there's been a huge revival over the last 2 decades of burlesque, and so a lot of people have jumped on the train because it's hella fun. Audiences love it. And like you said, you thought it could be intimidating, but it's not. That's why there's so many of them out there, because it's just so entertaining. And I work independently also with other troupes, and so I got a chance to see what they're doing. And so our troupe,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we have. I mean, our troupe is unique in its own way, best in the biz, I like to say. Mm-hmm. And then all the other troupes, I mean, they're all fantastic. And there's also in Orlando, if you want to learn burlesque, there's the Burlesque Conservatory that my friends run. So that's like a whole course, like and then you do a big production at the end. You know,
I want to
when
get
you
into
graduate.
like silk work. And I want to.
In what way?
And I want to start.
Friend?
I want to do some. I wanted to start doing some aerial.
Okay, yeah.
Wait in the silk.
No. I want to start. I don't feel comfortable doing this podcasting anymore. I only feel comfortable
hanging
when
from the ceiling.
when I'm with my aerialist buddies doing doing my silk work in the sky.
You did mention therapy earlier.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's a texture therapy.
I only feel comfortable when I'm in doing my aerial training.
I like when you wrap yourself around and then you yo-yo out.
You fake fall.
Yeah,
You fake fall.
You fake yo-yo out of the wrap. And you're like, whoa!
I'm excited for you to do that just with your beard.
That's
when it grows long
oddly enough, it's called Poseidon's mustache. That trick. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, what if we start the first ever homeless burlesque boylesque troupe?
Yeah. I like that.
And then it'd be Daniel. I can't grow a beard.
We'll come out wearing cardboard.
Oh, I like it.
I feel like we want to be inclusive, so let's be real about it. Let's have some conversation.
Yeah. I think we do. I think we do it with actual.
We do like an SNL D in a box, but in cardboard.
Homeless.
Now you're on to something.
Yes, you're not going to want to see that.
But I do ask that you rhinestone that box.
Okay.
You
know what? I have that glue. My daughter does dance, so I've got, what is it, the
E6000.
Yeah, I got that stuff. Yes, I know my stuff.
Okay, but the problem is that E6000 has a lot of fumes, and I can tell you've been using it.
Oh, yeah. Because
so
it's what puts me in the aerial.
Well-ventilated room when you use E6000.
Oh, no. I just that. All right, we got to take a break.
Yep. Joe, Ivy, thanks so much for coming by.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
It's been a pleasure.
Again, Southern Nights tomorrow, February 19th, all for a great cause.
Yep. Yeah.
Go see an awesome burlesque show.
Go support the kids in the community that need a little help.
Cocktails and consent.
Cocktails
we'll
and
see you
consent.
There you go.
And we will see you tomorrow. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. We would ask you to join us. Just search for @TomandDanLive.
So he's going to be at the Funny Bone on Thursday, February 20th. And he's also going to be at Porky's Comedy Club at St. Cloud, February 21st and 22nd. He's going to be down in Sarasota, February 28th and March 1st at McCurdy's. And legendary comedian Yakov Smirnoff is on Zoom right now. How you doing, Yakov?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh man, thank you so much for the time. We really do appreciate it, and appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to chat with us a little bit. We have a little bit of history. Like, your name has been thrown around in our studio probably more than most legendary comedians. And I'll defer to Tom, because we do have a bit of a mystery we'd like to try and solve.
Yeah.
Okay.
And real quick, before we solve the mystery, and this kind of ties into it, you have one of the greatest American dream stories, I feel like, of any entertainer. And the fact that you came here in 1977, you didn't speak English. And less than 10 years later, you're one of the most famous comedians in America. And is it correct that you've performed for 4 different presidents?
That's correct. Yes. I've been very fortunate, but I thought that was just something every comedian does. So, I was, honestly, when I look back at my life, I'm like going, was it me or was it Memorex? Because it just all started happening. I think I was kind of like fresh meat in Hollywood. Yeah. And all of a sudden I had all these movie roles and television, and then invitation to the White House, and I thought it was all normal, and I thought every immigrant gets that kind of opportunity.
That's crazy. Like, you're like, this must be what being a comedian's like.
Yeah, and I can remember as a
That's why I was saying, what a country, right?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't believe this was happening, but it was happening. And I'm grateful.
It would seem like, too, we were seeing you, at least as a young man. My father and I, big fans of comedy, big fans of Robin Williams and watching the greats at that time. And you were rolling right up there with them. I can remember seeing you in commercials or guest starring in movies and stuff like that. I mean, did it seem for you like literally like a 0 to 100 type of process, becoming?
It did. It still is. but I've been trying to figure out what happened, because as fast as it became that I became that kind of overnight success, which wasn't overnight, but that's the way people think.
Right.
But it ended even faster. It ended when the Soviet Union collapsed, and all of a sudden, I was no longer needed. It's like it was like Soviet Union was a pain in the butt to America, and I was preparation H.
Right, yeah.
Right? But when the itching and the burning and the swelling goes down, you don't need that anymore. So I basically was put in the medicine cabinet of history, and it was like so sudden. Soviet Union collapsed 91. David Letterman had a top 10 list of things that will now change. I made number 1 on the list. Yakov Smirnov will be out of work. And I thought it was funny, but 6 months later, I wasn't laughing.
Wow.
I never thought, I would never thought about a comedian, especially not losing, but maybe having to reinvent or take a turn in his act or his entertainment because of geopolitics. Yeah, I've never thought about that. That is. So how did you formulate a plan? Because obviously one of the things that I'm most impressed with, and Tom and I talked about this, is the fact that you own a venue. I mean, like, that's insane. Like, what?
I own a big 2,000-seat theater in Branson, Missouri, for the last 32 years.
Wow.
So the logic was very much survival. My wife and I at that time bought a house in Pacific Palisades that now burned down. But
wow.
And I was doing so well. I was making the house was $2.5 million. My mortgage was like $8,000 a month. At those days, it was 91 about. And then all of a sudden, my income went to nothing. And no way to pay for mortgage. So it was dramatic. But I started looking for a place where they did not know that the Soviet Union collapsed. And I ended up in Branson, Missouri. They still don't know.
They're still calling it the USSR.
That's such a great.
I'm not about to tell them, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a blessing in disguise, because it gave me an opportunity to keep entertaining. I entertained over 6 million people over those years. So it's been a blessing that happened at that time. It didn't look like it.
That is crazy. That
it's a beautiful theater, by the way, and congratulations. Didn't you just celebrate like your
31st consecutive season at your theater?
Yeah, congratulations. Yep. That is such a huge thing to do. And like, we are independent media. We know what it's like to have to leave and do, like, you're doing your own thing. You're owning it. It's your theater. I don't know. There's something insanely cool about that. And you could, like, people can rent your theater, right? And do other events and things there.
Correct.
That's wild.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's wild. That's really...
Yeah, this happened because survival... It had to be a survival mode that to happen.
Sure.
And but here's an interesting thing that you might appreciate, that because I went and I got my master's degree in psychology at University of Pennsylvania, and then I got my doctorate degree at Pepperdine University. The reason I was going after those, because I was trying to figure out because I believe that when there's chemistry and when there is harmony, laughter is kind of a result of that. It happens after the needs are met. So when I look at the big picture, and I'm realizing that I was meeting America's need for release of that pain in the butt, or release of that tension.
Tension, yeah.
And because I was meeting that need, that's why my career skyrocketed. And then when the need was over and they didn't need that anymore, it went away. So I believe that when I came to Branson, I happened to meet the needs of that community because they were looking for wholesome, they weren't looking, I just showed up, but a patriotic, what a country, somebody who likes America, somebody, so you could bring the kids to my show and the grandparents are not going to be embarrassed and things like that. I met their need. That's what helped me to survive this, not only survive and thrive through this 32 years.
Well, Yakov, you bring up a point about you've always worked clean, and in doing some research, I saw that you are at one time roommates with Andrew Dice Clay and Biff from Back to the Future.
Yeah, and we've interviewed
Thomas Wilson.
Yeah, we've talked to both of those guys.
And so I'm like, and Andrew Dice Clay was the epitome of a dirty comic, especially at the time in the 80s.
He's still doing it on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Andrew was teaching me English, so be nice to him.
No, we love it. Yeah.
But so you're working clean. He's Andrew Dice Clay. Like your philosophy of comedy couldn't be different. And so how was that relationship?
Well, actually, we're still friends. I was supposed to be a part of his documentary. Actually. Today, I was supposed to be coming back to Orlando, but there was a snowstorm, so we postponed it. So I continued to have a relationship with him because when I met Andrew, he was totally clean. Huh. I know it's hard to believe, but he was doing impressions of John Travolta, Sylvester Stallone. He would close his act singing like Elvis, an impression. I mean, it was very, very clean. What happened is that when HBO, at that time, to be a success before the cable came in, you had to be clean. And he was. But then when HBO, that Young Comedian special happened, and they liked his nursery rhymes, and all of that just went through the roof. And then after that, he never turned back.
Super interesting.
He saw something that worked. Yeah. There's no need there. Yeah.
And was there any pressure for you to ever work dirty at all? Did the other comedians are like, hey, Yakov, you got to work.
You need to be a spicier Russian,
No. I always admired like Seinfeld and Leno. I saw, and it was kind of similar to what I grew up with because I was doing stand up in the Soviet Union, and obviously you could not the amount of topics that you could talk about was very limited, and therefore. Dirty was not even an option.
Right, yeah.
And, so I kind of been trained to stay, not to go against the party line. Otherwise, you can get hurt. You can disappear.
Right,
So those were the parameters that I grew up with. So it wasn't difficult for me to say no to drug use, to any of that seemed very foreign to me.
That's crazy that you're doing comedy in a country that you could be, imprisoned, and also, you've never been seen again for something you say on stage.
Did you carry any of that maybe nervousness over when you first started? You're learning English.
Yeah.
You start doing comedy here in the States. How do you learn where the line is in a new country?
You create your own line in a way. And I remember watching, my English was still pretty bad, but I could understand some. And I remember being in New York at it was Playboy Club, and there was comedy on a regular basis there. And the comedian, I don't know who it was, said that Jimmy Carter just had his hemorrhoid operation, and he's going to be perfect a-hole again. And I ducked under the table.
right. You're like,
You're like, oh my God! You called.
Somebody's going to shoot him.
Yeah.
That's how ingrained it was in my mind.
Sure.
You're like, how could you say this about the president? Like, you're gonna someone.
I mean, a lot. Like, we really do take for granted the fact that is a freedom afforded to us. The ability to.
We love making fun of the president.
Like, we make fun of our presidents. We worship any religion we want, and that is something that we don't think about. That there are countries that is not a thing.
That's a blessing. Yes,
it is, absolutely.
So, Jakob, we have to ask you this because one of my favorite stories ever told on the show was by fellow comedian, the amazing Jonathan.
Yeah. All the way back in 2014.
And when he came on the show, he told us a story, and you want to... we got a little bit of the audio from it.
It's a small clip, Yakov, if you just listen to this.
I made it. I'd be curious. Yeah.
This is 40 seconds. Here we go.
Yeah, President Reagan and President Mitterrand of France...
Oh my God!
They were having it. They wanted to see a show. It was. I get a call from at my hotel room out of the blue. It's from the Secret Service saying, "Would you like to do a show for the President of the United States?" What? So I flew at my own expense to New York. Was standing at 58th and Broadway at 6 a.m. Seinfeld's there. Yakov Smirnoff's there. They both got the same call apparently.
No,
that's insane.
They're on the corner, just standing there.
They're standing at the corner. A black van comes around the corner. It opens its doors, and the guy says, "Get in."
What year was this?
This was 1986.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was the bicentennial of the Statue of Liberty ceremony. Is what it was.
Oh yeah. Yes, that makes sense because yes, I remember that very clearly. I was sworn in at the Statue of Liberty ceremonies as an American citizen. So I was part of all of these activities and festivities that was happening there. So yes, he is correct. Right. And we had Amazing Jonathan and I and Jerry had the same agents at that time. Whoa. So that's how we probably ended up in the same spot.
Well, the Amazing Jonathan went on to say it was his first time trying ecstasy, and he was freaking out the entire time.
No, but then he also goes on to say that his stage manager tested out his prop gun that had blanks in it, and he fired the gun, and he got tackled. I don't know if that's true or not, but...
Amazing Jonathan was crazy.
It sounds like Amazing Jonathan story. Yeah. I didn't see that part, but I had an interesting situation because I was sworn in on that day at the Statue of Liberty. It was a big moment of my life, one of the biggest. And I remember Baryshnikov. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He was supposed to be sworn in at the same day or the same ceremony. So he was like a really big, everybody, all the media was on him. They wanted to get an interview from him, all of that. And we were all gathered there, and Baryshnikov came and told the media, or FBI actually was around him because he was like the center of attention of the whole event. So they were around him, and they came to Battery Park where we were waiting, and he said they said that he's not going to give any interviews. And up till then, the media, they've seen me, they saw me that I was there, but they totally ignored me.
Right.
Totally. And when the FBI said that he's not going to do this, all of the media, I'm talking about, Time Magazine, Newsweek, LA Times, USA Today, all of the biggers, they turn around on the dot like piranhas. And all of a sudden, I was the bait. I was the one that they're going to write a story about. And it never happened in my life before. It will probably never happen again. And I had no PR person there or anybody. So I'm telling the people from Newsweek, or I say, stand in this corner. I'll come back to you in 20 minutes. And who are you with? Oh, you're with Time Magazine. Well, let me talk to you now. But People Magazine, would you stand there and wait for me? It was insane. And that's when I think that was the peak of my career, because I made a cover of Parade magazine that week. And so
now wasn't Parade the magazine that came with the paper, so it went to every house. Like, I remember as a boy, you'd get the paper, and then the magazine that came with it, the color fold out, the money shot was Yakov on Parade.
That's correct.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
I don't think there was something bigger when I was born in 76. I'm 48. Like, I can remember, you exploded in a point where you were just everywhere. It was just you in a red sweater everywhere.
It must have been the equivalent to $500 million worth of media exposure or something insane, like bigger than with that much media at that time where there was no internet, pre-cable TV, this is what Americans consumed.
I'm very grateful to a Russian ballet dancer.
He's one of the greats.
That one decision of him not talking to the media blew your career.
He had a bad day. He was like, I'm over this. I do not want to talk.
So, Yakov, speaking of President Reagan, you also got to write a little bit of President Reagan's speech, which is also insane. Yeah,
it is. It's hard to believe that was all happening. And it was, the owner of the Comedy Store, Mitzi Shore, she kept saying to me, you and Reagan changed the world. And I'm like going, come on, Mitzi, I'm just a comedian. I just tell jokes. And he's, no, this was secret weapons that Reagan used to make it connect to Gorbachev, and that's how everything happened. So I couldn't. Again, I'm not dumb, but I feel like it was so way over my head when they asked me to write some jokes for the speech, and then they said, "Why don't you read the speech and see if you like it?" And I'm like, who am I? But then I would give them my opinion, say the tone of the speech is probably not ideal. And they go, why don't you rewrite it? I go, oh, no, now, if that doesn't work, I don't have any countries to go to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, see you in space, Yakov.
That's crazy.
I don't know where you go after that. Also, do you remember what the tone was? Was it something just... like, were you trying to soften it in any way?
Yeah. I think it's similar to what's going on right now with today's situation with Trump and European Union and Ukraine and Putin and all of those things. Their kind of history is repeating itself. So the tone of collaboration is what I believed in, and that's what was lacking, because people who were writing the speeches were more hardcore and pushing for, like, we're the we're the pinnacle of the world. We will dictate what's going to happen.
Right.
And my take on it was, I don't think so. I think it will need to be mutually beneficial. So that's the only difference.
That makes sense, yeah.
Tony Robbins talks about this, like when you're learning to play golf and you make 1 degree adjustment to where the ball is going to go, it might go to the green or it might go in the woods. So I guess my 1 degree was received by president's writers, and they used that. So, and I think that helped.
That's amazing.
So Yakov, I'm curious about, you mentioned getting your master's in psychology and then your doctorate, and was that anyway fueled by the curiosity, like especially psychology, of what happened in your own career? Like we just talked about the explosion in popularity and going from, I know it wasn't overnight, but in the amount of time from coming to America not knowing English and to you're writing Ronald Reagan's speeches now, and then the insane popularity and everybody in the country knows who you are, and then the fall of the Soviet Union, and then all of a sudden everything gets taken away as far as like career wise, and you open up your theater and you've had a great career and it's amazing, but like you looking back, you're like it's a crazy rise and immediate not even a fall, but like the change in your career and the
emergency landing, I call it.
And is part of your fascination with psychology like part of trying to understand like why that happened to you?
Right.
Yeah, in some ways, I wasn't looking at that as much as after all of this started happening. A little bit late, I went for a divorce. And that's probably was the catalyst to going to get my education, because I couldn't understand it. But however, I noticed that there was a lot of laughter in the beginning of the relationship, and then by the end of the relationship, there was people who were laughing were the attorneys, and so I kind of went, where did the laughter go? So it was more started there to understand. It was laughter between my wife and I, and then it's going away. And then I started asking my audience, how many of you remember laughter in the beginning of the relationship? And everybody applauds. And then I say, any of you would go on a second date if you didn't have laughter on the first date? And nobody applauds. So that gave me an idea that there is a correlation between laughter and happiness, and laughter being that gauge or that map or roadmap of happiness. And then as I was doing that research on the personal relationships, I realized that it actually reaches everyone. I mean, all relationships, with your children, with your parents, with your coworkers. If you are not meeting each other's needs, laughter is not going to happen.
So,
yeah, that's true.
So
conditions are not optimum for that, for sure.
And you even taught a class about like laughter and business, correct?
Yes, business of laughter. Yes. I was teaching students how that's all relatable to. And if you want to have a good relationship, you focus not on laughter, you focus on meeting the needs. And once you meet the need, humor is going to be there. It's going to trigger the laughter.
That's super interesting. Yeah. And are you still writing your book, Unconscious Attraction?
I have done it. I did a proposal, but unfortunately, well, again, I look at everything as a blessing.
Yeah.
it wasn't getting any traction with the publishers. That tells me it's like a clue that maybe that's not where I need to go.
Gotcha.
And so it happened about a year ago, February. So, it just reminded me. Today's what, the 18th?
Yeah.
I think it was February 10 last year that I had there's a psychologist that I admire, and I like the way he was deep dive, trying to understand what is your passion, where is your passion. And we did a session together, and my goal was to continue to go into psychology more deeper, and do the books and do courses and all of that. And then we kind of dove in, or he helped me see that I was split between stand-up and psychology. And for years, I tried to join them together. And it was difficult. I did a Broadway show, 2003, As Long as We Shall Laugh. And I thought that will be, and then I did a PBS special, Happily Ever Laughter, in 2016. So I've been on that path for a long time. But that session helped me understand that my strength is in stand-up. And so what's happening, the reason I'm here in Orlando and then at Porky's in St. Cloud, it makes me smile, because I'm going from the White House to Porky's.
I'm glad you said it.
There's a contrast there, right?
Yeah, I love it. And it's also very American, though. I mean, like, barbecue is very American. It's my favorite food. Porky's actually does have good barbecue, so I'm glad about that.
That's what I'm telling everybody. I'm like, you have a chance
to meet a legend. Yeah,
we have a lot of listeners around St. Cloud, Kissimmee area, Orlando. Like, go see Yakov.
And a lot of people in the chat room. I'll read some of it. Yeah. This is so great. Yakov seems so nice. This is a very smart man. We need him to save us again. Like, these are people, like, this is a killer interview. Yeah, you can actually go and eat barbecue, America's food, with Yakov Smirnoff at Porky's.
Yes. So the reason I'm doing these clubs, and Florida is the first place that I'm kind of coming out of that Branson bubble, is to test this that new approach to my stand-up, and hopefully my guiding light at this point is Nate Bargatze.
Oh yeah.
Who I think has his pulse on what America needs. Again, I'm going back to need. And what America needs, I think they got enough of the comedy that was vulgar, and they can't watch Netflix without with their kids or grandkids. So they are flocking to Nate and people like that, Leanne Morgan and Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, they really want that in their lives now.
Well, what's interesting is we had Nate on the show when he was just doing the comedy club circuit.
2017.
And it was funny because we literally, it kind of like an analogy to you, you, Yakov, and the fact that he, like, all of a sudden he came to Orlando once.
We had him in here.
And then the next time he came, he's doing arena. He's going from comedy club, he's going Porky's to arena.
He did
I've never seen
Porky's to, like, the Kia Center here in town, and he did, like, multiple dates.
And I've never seen someone skyrocket that fast, and you're right. It must have been just like what you were talking about in your own careers. Like America needed this particular style of comedy at the right place, the right time. Now, hopefully, like something doesn't happen where he all of a sudden the late night show is like Nate Bargatze's never going to do a show.
Yeah. He makes the number one of the top 5.
But it's interesting you bring him up.
Yeah, no, I think he is safe because he did not, his motto, no politics, no profanity. So he is, when I actually watched last night a couple of his specials on Netflix, and it's just fascinating to watch him, how great he is in what he does, but he's also very strategic, that there is no reason that he would not be popular.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Yakov, I have 2 more questions real quick. One is your podcast, Comedy Couch.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's going okay. As you know, this kind of format needs to grow and see. I like doing it. That's the biggest part of it, that I can sit down with young comedians or, comedians who've been touring for a while, and they have a lot of respect for me, which feels good to be able to. And so what I realized, that I've been kind of under witness protection program for 32 years. And when you go to Branson, America doesn't know where you are. You're done. So it's a good place to hide from the Russians that are still looking for me. And I don't want to mention their name, but the initials are KGB. So what I'm saying is that I've been kind of protected by that environment. And now coming out into the real world, America, and all the changes that are happening in our political system, all of that requires just being out there and figuring out what is it that America need right now.
Well, Yakov, because of your education and your life experience, you make a great interviewer, because I listened to the podcast and you're really good at interviewing because of your education psychology background.
Thank you. Again, I'm looking for a sign, kind of like what I just did, my last podcast with Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
Who is like, one of the biggest podcasters in the world, and I was so a blast that he was like, "Yeah, sure, let's sit down. If you do my podcast, I'll do your podcast. So if you show me yours, I'll show you mine."
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Yeah, and I was very pleased to be able to hold my part of the bargain, and he enjoyed the interview. So to me, it's just a slow building process. But I think, again, Nate has a successful podcast. So I'm using his roadmap in a way of what is he doing that got him from Porky's to Arena.
Yeah.
Smart.
I've definitely listened to one day. If you get Nate on your podcast,
I'd love that.
I would listen to that as fast as possible.
Or if the next time you're in Orlando, if you ever just want to pop in here again and talk some more, man, we'd love to chat with you. This has been like super fun.
I got one more question, and it's my dumbest question for you.
Yeah, we save the best for the last.
This is the dumbest.
Best for last.
But I tried to look it up online and see, and I couldn't find anything, and I was like, and it was bothering me because I was like, there had to be some story about an interaction with this company. So your stage name, Smirnoff, it's famously you got it from the vodka from when you got to America. You're like, what America's like. It's a famous story that people know.
Officially a ChatGPT fact.
And that's correct, right?
Yes, that's correct. I was working as a bartender or bar boy at first, but then bartender. And people were not very familiar with the Russian things, except Smirnov would always make them smile. So that's how I got this last name, and it's been very very good for me over the years, because there's just something funny about Yakov, like yakking, and then Smirnov, you know, so it gets people to smile. It kind of like Whoopi Goldberg, you know. There is just that part of that cognizant difference. Like those words should not be together.
Yeah,
but that's what makes it stick. And so, yeah, I've been very blessed that I picked that name.
So my question is, did the actual Smirnoff Vodka company ever reach out to you to do endorsements or work with you in some way?
They have, and I did a show for them. That was probably 1991, maybe. No, yeah, 1991. And at that time, my kids were born, and I didn't feel like I wanted to be associated with alcohol.
Gotcha.
And so I turned it down. Now my kids are grown and drink Smirnoff. Maybe it's time to rekindle this.
It's time. It's right. It's never been. You know what? Seriously.
They
is time.
should.
Oh, they absolutely should.
A social media campain of you or Yakov Smirnoff drinking Smirnoff.
We might start like beating that drum for you.
That should be a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Right?
Smirnoff Ice might be, right?
I love Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah.
That is a delicious lemonade flavored malt liquor beverage.
But let me tell you what I think, that it's very sweet of you to say that. But until you're hot again or warmed over or whatever it is, big companies are not interested. Small companies are rarely interested. So to me, it's my job to start that fire, and that's what's happening tomorrow at Orlando Funny Bone, and then next day, Friday and Saturday, Porky's, and then in Sarasota. That's like kindlings for the fire.
Love it.
Well,
and that will start the fire. Then Smirnov will be calling me.
No, 100%.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yakov, we had a guest earlier. I'm like, Yakov Smirnov is coming, zooming with us. They're like, oh, really?
Out, yeah.
Like everybody that is over 40 knows your name.
Correct.
I think the majority of America, so your name recognition is so high because of the 90s and the late 80s and 90s. So I just feel like, good luck with everything in your new tour, and congratulations.
I'll tell you, my social media person said that most of the time in today's world, with the podcasts and all of those social media platforms, most of the time the children tell their parents about that particular performer or that particular podcast, similar to like Barron Trump is introducing Donald Trump to Joe Rogan and Theo Wan and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. My social media guy says, this will be opposite for you. He said, the parents are going to be introducing you to the young people.
Yeah, there you go. Let's work it backwards.
And I go, whichever way, I'm good.
Yeah. Just got to get the kindling, get the fire going.
That's a Russian reverse.
That is the Russian reverse.
Invented.
Yeah. I love it.
Right.
Yakov, thanks so much for taking the time with us. I really appreciate it. And again, get your tickets at Funny Bone Thursday, February 20th, and Porky's Comedy Club the 21st and 22nd. It's been a pleasure, Yakov, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
See you guys. Why did I say see you guys?
It was all good until you said see you guys.
Until I got to the see you guys. Who else is there, Dan? Dan, who else is there? You dumb mother.
Well, you know what? Usually you end, and I think it threw you off that I ended.
It did throw me off. No, you know what threw me off is his noise that they always like. The noise of that. I don't like a noise at the end.
Well, I think
I demand that anybody, when we are ending a Zoom call, I demand that everyone stay quiet.
I guarantee you, now that he's touring again, he's going to get tired of doing interviews. But we're lucky we got him. He came to Florida first.
We got him.
Yeah. But
very nice man.
In 2 months, when he's doing like Arizona, he's like, I'm not doing any more media. But
he'll do a little bit of this. I'm tired. He looks great, right?
Yeah, dude.
You know who I thought?
He's 74.
You know who I thought he was at first? I thought he was the husband of that Playboy lingerie model that you creeped out. He had the same hat on and the same beard, and I'm like, holy crap! Where's that lady?
Yeah. He needs to write a life biography.
Hey, man, what you need to do is write yourself a life biography. You need to write you a life. You ever thought about writing yourself a life biography? Man, it's real popular with them celebrities. You write yourself one of them life biographies. You get that. I was cursed. You get that S published, you'll be rich, man. You'll be able to buy you an airboat.
You MFer.
Life biography.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Two of my favorites are here, sir, and I will allow you to have the honors.
Jeff and Casey Howell are here. How you guys doing?
Hey!
Casey Howell's going to be performing at Celebration at the Wilson Orlando on Friday and at Cherry Pocket Steak and Seafood in Lake Wales on Saturday. So you can check Casey Howell out at both those locations.
Cherry Pocket weekend. Steak and Seafood sounds good.
All right. Extra seafood.
I love it.
Cherry Pocket fish.
Hold on, let's start over. There we go.
Hey-o. Can you say Cherry Pocket on the radio?
Yeah, absolutely we can. You know what we need to cleanse the palate, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. It's our new president singing "God is a River." Here's our new president singing "God is a River." Here he goes. Just let him sing a little bit of it. This is the Jeff Howell song.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump. Oh, Tom the Bomb first. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom the Bomb. And here's Trump.
What
the hell is this?
They'll down in the sea. Is that you? Is it AI?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
It's better. Yeah, I didn't realize how good a song it was.
Wait till he hits it. Wait till he hits it right here. Wait till he hits it.
Wash away my sorrow. Are you sure that's not you? That sounds like.
I swear to God, that's AI.
We don't do any work anymore.
All we do is sit in front of our computers and laugh. That is AI.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that took me all of 18 seconds, and but it did cost me $60.
The subscription,
because everything you got to do, everything is in microtransactions of bits, and micro bits.
Oh, sure.
That cost me 22,400 microbits, which is $60.
You are just for the one song.
Yeah, just for the one song.
Oh, but I don't own it.
I don't own it. I just have to rent it.
Wow,
but then they now own your song. I'm sorry.
Sure. Sorry about that. Not like I made any money. Because my songs had been playing on the the 104.1 for years and years and years. I've seen not one penny from that. And I am a BMI affiliate, but that's you know what that
Huge
that is?
BMI.
I don't like you.
What if you sued him, Jeff? That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty awesome.
If you just take your life savings and just sued for, I don't even know how much it would be.
Two life savings.
A couple dollars.
Well, the thing is, they do have a guy there's a guy named Brian Bassett that is that's a legend in the blues studios around here, and he's a great performer. Right? Well, he's the guitar player on Play That Funky Music, White Boy. He was in the band Wild Cherry. And before they went with the name Cherry Pocket Seafood.
Open a bar. Seafood steak.
They were Wild Cherry. And anyway, he wrote the lick. So anyway, he he received his band cut of the royalties, which, but way back then was just minimal.
Yeah.
But he had written that lick, and he did copyright the lick. So finally he got a lawyer, entertainment lawyer, said, look, I don't think I've been paid. So that guy went and backtracked. He found all the money. And I mean, we're talking over the years, he's made millions. From this lawyer going back and finding out how much he was owed.
Really?
Yeah. So if I do that with Clear Channel, I'm in the tens of dollars.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is there's been multiple royalty lawsuits that have popped up, and it seems like it's because of the digital age. Like it's easier to go back and actually have a record of certain, because everything is now keeping track of.
One day, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I'll just say, back in the day when companies would pay royalties, you're talking analog TV, and it's for sure they were screwing the artists. They were looking at every single. These
we
thousands
ourselves from our own commercials that we would do, and then we'd have to go down the hallway, and then turn in a physical record of just no different than a bowling scorecard or a golf scorecard.
How many times?
Here's 10 hash marks. It wasn't even real. Absolutely, they were taking advantage.
They have two companies. BMI is the one that most musicians go with because it's free.
Yeah.
Okay, that appealed to me. The ASCAP is the one you pay. You pay yearly to be on. And apparently back in the day, the difference was BMI relied on the program directors or the DJs to write down which songs they played.
Yeah.
They send it to a database where they go, okay, they played the song. ASCAP actually hired people to go listen to each radio station, and they would write down the songs. So that's why it cost to be with ASCAP.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So they actually hired people that would follow up. But if you go with BMI, they go, that's Jeff out. Whatever.
So you paid people to listen to your songs so that they would pay you?
That's a real good point.
Yeah. This is the music business, right? That's entertainment, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane you go back 30 years, how the process used to work. If things are still written down on paper, it's insane.
It's crazy to think that even the way that we all do, I was looking at some of these amazing photos that you've been going through.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool.
Thank you.
I got lost on your page trying to find, Tom and I were talking about something, and then I went to your page to research.
Yeah.
And I just started getting lost in your Facebook, and I urge anybody, if you're a fan or friend of Jeff Howe, and you love his music, and you care about him and Casey, go to his Facebook page and just roll through.
They're fun.
I got lost in it, man. There's too much to even look at. And some of the people, I forget their names, and I'm like, I met that person, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Colleen?
Colleen, yeah.
I met her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a huge, larger-than-life character, but it gets all jumbled up. But the reason I'm doing it, Tom, is because I'm at that point right now where I'm. For a while, I was thinking of moving to Ireland. Okay, I think I told you that.
Yes.
Okay, I put that on the back burner because it's just going to take more thinking and more work than I'm willing to do for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But the second thing is,
you gave up on your dream.
I like that.
A sixth or seventh one so far.
You came to the right guy. Every other week we have a topic about. We did a topic last week that was what's the best dream you've given up? Tom and Dan. You came to the right guy.
Oh, I know.
We're the dream giver of it.
Oh, I know. So, but the other dream is to move up where my brother and sister live.
Nice.
For the final years of our lives and everything.
Okay,
Not that I'm a pessimist.
Well, where is that?
Yeah, it's in northwest Arkansas.
Okay, just as good as Ireland.
Some call it. I think they call it Razorback Ireland. Right? I know that's what it's done. People talk the same.
I know. I have a harder time understanding North Arkansas people than I do Irish people.
Yeah.
But anyway, in doing so, I have to clean up my house. I have to fix it up. I have to get it ready. So I've done the exterior. I've done that work. Why did
you masturbate after that? So weird. Such a weird thing to do. I did all the exterior relief.
I said I did say I had to clean up my house.
Right.
So anyway, but the other thing is you got to clean out the closet. I saved every picture that I've ever had since 1977.
Oh my
when I joined Clutch. Yeah, I mean I have 20,000 pictures.
So they like Rubbermaid.
It's 4.
Are they in giant Rubbermaid bins? bins or something?
Yeah. Any box or anything, they're in bags, they're in boxes. And
in the refrigerator, the freezer.
Yeah, and so you go through them, and of course, half of them back in the day, was your thumb in front of it, or you accidentally hit the camera stuff. So, but then you scan it, and then you scan the ones that you want to remember. And so I did that, and I went through pretty much all the pictures. So I scanned the ones, and I'm just running into stuff that I go, oh my God, like when he was just, a baby. And still crapping at his diapers. And,
I saw that picture.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah. But the thing is, I did all the photos, and so now I'm on the videotape, and I thought I'd bring you guys a videotape that I found. What? You ready?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am excited.
We have a VCR player.
Girls Gone Wild.
I can find one.
You ready?
Yeah.
Rust Bow and Dirty Jim Exposed.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
The people have been asking for it.
Let me see that. Yeah! Oh,
Take it.
Man, look at that.
And it is nothing but saggy boobs and hairy van.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I love this. I love this. This is fantastic.
Why would you bring that, Jim?
It's like,
I'm trying to bring us all together.
Like this,
you know what I mean?
Most of the used in this are dead.
Come on.
Sorry, it had to be said.
That's yours.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
I've already put on my
Put that up here.
computer.
Yeah, he's already used it.
That's why we're
You're like,
What is funny about that is that if you did watch that, you're like, they put this on the radio.
Oh, it was horrible.
You can't even put this on the internet now.
Yeah.
In Florida,
It was
you have to be 21 and up.
It was amazing because they would just walk in the door naked. It wasn't even like a build-up or anything. Yeah. And it got it got to where nudity was boring.
yeah.
It
did.
So
But
then
we had this effect at the Playboy. We went to Playboy Radio.
Yeah.
And there were so many naked women that after about 15 minutes, we were just like, all right.
My
15 minutes?
Yeah.
That's what it took?
Because they're so good looking that, I don't know, you get shamed because you're in such a professional.
Yeah.
You can't just start acting like an animal that you want to. So you're forced into just not caring about it, which I think turns you gay for the afternoon or something.
Completely shut
Yeah,
down.
it's you get shut down, and then you're just, I'm not restarting this up again.
Hello, businesswoman.
Yeah, I'm all business now.
You know what's horrible timing on my part is I became an intern, right? And spent my
you
first
were already married when we met you.
No.
This guy's locked in. Yeah.
Just 2 months into my internship, Janet Jackson happens, and then Clear Channel's like, no more nudity, only racism now. And then I'm like, it's my least fun topic. Still doing though. But I wanted
still
nudity.
pays off.
I wanted nudity though because I was in radio, and that's when Howard Stern.
And then you met me, and you know what I said? I said, "Hey kid, let me teach you something. It's called sexy racism." Okay, I didn't say that.
There was one where they were trying to get these girls to qualify for Miss Monster.
Oh, well, of course they needed to qualify and meet the standards.
So they came in.
They had to meet the standards of us in the morning show. Do you qualify, madam?
Oh, my God. And they had this one girl in there, and her thing was she was going to do a string of...
I remember this, we got to be careful. Beads.
And so the going in part was fine. The coming out part, and when she finally got to the end of it, she pulled it out, and it popped, and a drop went. And I was sitting right next to her, and I swear to God, I went...
Should we play the other thing now? Should we go to something else? Okay, here, we're doing
Your
Remember
son
When?
is here, Jeff.
You're on clean, man. No amount of showers are ever going to clean you off.
Here, check this out.
We dated for 2 weeks.
You sent this, and I edited it so we could play it on air. But check this out, Tom. This is a blast in the past. Is this a young? Who is this? This young hip hopper here?
Start the entire show. We're gonna do a song together. Give it up for Daniels right there.
What year is this?
2000.
Yes.
25 years ago.
This is 25 years ago.
Oh, that's what I said.
Yeah, here's a young Dan.
Look at this. Look at that baby.
I'm getting ready to spit mad fire on your ass, Tom.
1, 2, 3, and to the floor. Nobody rocks up how they like that. Jump. Ready to make a net trip, so back on up. Cause you know I'm about to back it up. Giving it like a reverse, so like a bust, like a bubble. Now get a Long Beach together, you know that we show. Ain't nothing
the N-word, Dan. Dan, why'd you say the N-word?
Man.
Why'd you do that? You were feeling it. I was feeling myself.
When you're in the song.
This is 25 years ago at a time when if I had not said the N-word, people would be like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, oh, I know.
Yeah, say it.
I thought in a period of time back in that day, we're talking 97, 96, I thought that if we just kept saying it over and over again, we would kill the sensitivity to it. Apparently, that didn't work.
Yeah, you tried your hardest.
Yeah.
Is this at Hard Rock Live?
This is at House of Blues.
Oh, House of Blues?
That's Average Joe you play with.
Look at my dance moves. Look at those dance moves.
Do you have a tucked-in shirt with a braided belt?
I have a tucked-in. Okay, let me describe my outfit. I have on the finest of Jinkos. Look at those moves. Look at those moves. You're going to have to see this. You go to YouTube, / Tom and Dan Live, Tom and Dan Live on Twitch.
Oh, do you have the chain with the Jenkos?
I think I have a chain.
Yeah.
I think those are Zeke Cavaricis. That's the second time this week. Your wife came in yesterday and told us that she had a pair of Zeke Cavaricis.
Yeah.
I am currently wearing Zeke Cavaricis. I have a braided belt on. I have a chain wallet.
Yeah.
And a tucked-in. Look at that. Look at those moves. I have a tucked-in Real Radio polo with the top button like I'm in Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
What is that look?
Only complimented by the Real Radio lanyard for backstage pass.
The chat room is noticing that I dance really well.
Yeah.
And I probably danced my hips broken.
Very erotic stuff you're doing there.
Yeah.
There's a blonde, like a blonde bowl cut.
I know. Hold on a second here. He's loving this because the only person that's ever been able to make fun of hair on this show is me. So I deserve all of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was more of a sir. Allow me to correct you, sir. That was I was going for a young Rob Thomas, a mop top.
All right.
Shaggy mop top is what I was going for.
So you scanned in all the pictures you found,
and
digitally
videos.
and videos.
Yeah.
And then when you scan them in, do you have a hard time throwing away the actual original?
No, in fact, like I said, that's yours now. I'm done with it.
Okay.
Oh, so you're like a digital hoarder. You're like a dance.
Yeah. Here's the deal, because I will tell you this. There is so much stuff that you forget about that just looking at it puts euphoria in you.
Yeah,
it's nostalgia. Now, I'm not big for living in the past, but if you can get that feeling from something, God, that was really fun. I forgot about that. I remember that person. They were that kind of,
But also,
you got me. Can I give you, I want to give you your compliment. When you sent that to me, I was sitting here at the studio and you sent it to me, and the file, it only would open with VLC. I had to do some conversion.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, because it's old media, right? Like, it's crazy. And that even made it cooler.
Oh, thank you.
The fact that it was old media and I had to do a little work to get it to work. And then once I got it running, I sat here and you were on the camping trip and I was just sitting here watching it. It's when I came in on Saturday. I was sitting there watching and I got a big smile on my face. I remember Joe and I remember playing. And that was the first time I'd ever really gotten a compliment from somebody. Like Joe was like, Joe was like, oh, Dan's killing it. He's doing such a great job.
This is the star of the show.
Yeah,
and he was.
It was a very nice thing.
And you had just started.
I had just started. It was one of the first times that somebody had ever been like, it was the first time that somebody actively said to a crowd of people, hey, this guy's doing a good job here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got me. Like, I sat here and I was just like, what you just talked about, that feeling. I'm getting it right now.
It's
I
wonderful.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Pleasure. I love you, man. I appreciate
you
doing
too,
that.
man.
That's very cool.
God, it just...
Gay!
Identification.
It was
your case.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry. But so now, are you going through with it? Are you moving? Or
well, yeah, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Here's the plan now. My plan is, it's kind of like the Constitution. It just kind of morphs with whichever way the country's going right now. So, but what I want to do is I want to get my...
What does that mean?
What kind of American are you? We need ice in here, Stan. We need ice in here, Stan. I don't know if you might be an immigrant.
Well, I voted one way, but now that Donald Trump is singing one of my favorite songs, I think I'm going to go the other way.
Yeah.
The point is, and I wrote that down on the way here.
Sweet Caroline.
The point is that I want to start doing the live streams again because I'm having a lot of people going, hey, are you playing anywhere? I'd love to come see you. And so I think the timing's right to kind of hit that.
Oh my God, you're Jay Lenoing your song. You gave the show to Conan, but you want it back now.
I want it back now,
I knew it.
We all saw it coming.
I do like it. Like, America's going to hell. I'm moving to Arkansas.
Real America.
If you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, you got to go to the belly of the beast, man.
Can't beat them, flog them.
Yeah. You got to get in there, man. Start mixing it up.
So
I think that would be fun for you, man.
Yeah, I think so. So
good.
that's what I want to do right now because my house is geared for that. It's mostly living room. It's a vaulted ceiling. So it makes it good for to set up a place to play there. So anyway, that's what I'm shooting for. So it's probably going to be about a year and a half before I do the Arkansas thing. So.
Maybe we buy Jeff Howell's house and we turn it into a Jeff Howell themed Airbnb.
Yes. Hold on a second. Red Dog Pub. The vacation stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on. The title's a little
Keep
clunky.
working it.
Yeah.
Red Dog Pubbing In.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Pubbing in.
The only things on TV is old westerns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boxing.
Loud. Very loud.
There's an ex-girlfriend called it Essie Movie Theater.
Yeah, and we can have piles of things that you have to walk through.
Yeah.
And then you used to describe that
Tom, I used to
I've never been... Wait, I went to your house one time.
Yeah.
One time.
I lived in apartments all my life because, bum musician. It was just easier. Yeah. And, but I never would take anything out of the boxes because I knew I was going to move within a year or two. So for him, for the first 4 or 5 years of his life, it was the labyrinth. He would watch TV and then he'd walk in between about 7 or 8 boxes to go to the bathroom.
Slept in the box.
Yeah. And then come back, pick a toy out, go sit on the couch, But I did that. Then I had to get a house. Yeah.
And so, how much other stuff do you have to clean out?
Ooh.
And then, are you a throw it away guy? Are you a Facebook Marketplace?
I'm not good at that. I want to do that, but I'm terrible at it. But my sister, in her retirement years, she's become an estate planner, estate sale planner.
Yeah.
So that's what she does. So now that I'm done with the videotapes and thing, now I got to go through the house and find what might be worth something, what might take pictures of it, send it to her. She's going to organize an estate sale for me.
Okay.
Which sounds like
we do a communal bonfire. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
We have 2 Garfield plug-in phones here.
A Native American head. Wooden head.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so we have Casey here, and I made the joke for years that the funny thing about people that keep too much of their old stuff.
Yeah, I
do that.
It's called hoarders.
I do it. I do it with gear. All the boxes that are in there that's junking up our studio are just broken cables that I feel the need to hold on to because I'm.
Is that they'll hold on to this stuff, which is it's a burden. They'll hold for 40 years of their entire life, right?
Yeah.
All for one day. It'll pass on to their kids,
to Ireland,
and then their kids will just throw it all away.
Yeah.
So it's like you're holding it, and it's all this effort to hold it.
I did the worst. I did when my mom and dad died, and I can talk about it now. It's not morbid, but when I did it, I was kind of so angry at the situation,
right?
And we called in an estate person, like you said,
yeah.
And I just go just sell it all. I was I was just get rid of everything, and they did, And then there is a part of me that does wish I'd spent a little more time on it. I kind of was a little reactive on it.
Yeah.
But it was the better choice for me.
At that time.
Yeah, better choice for me.
But I've always been just hang on to it because of that little feeling of nostalgia. You might want it. Some reason you might want it. Like I was going through stuff in the closet, and there's this thing that my dad had in his office for years.
Yeah.
And it was a little statue, not a statue, but a little thing that 3D thing, and it was a cartoon guy sitting under a tree, and there's a bird up on the tree with a mean look on his face, and his ass feathers way up in the air, looked like he's getting ready to evacuate. And the caption, and the caption was. And the caption, the guy was looking up, and the caption said, "Go ahead, everybody else does."
Old man joke art.
I do like that. I like that.
3D old man joke.
Yeah, I like that. The only thing of my father's that I saved was a pair of holy jockey shorts that on the front, where his ding dang would have been, it says it's got 2 pigs pumping. It says making bacon. Only thing he gave it to me in his deathbed. He said, and he tucked it in my hands. God bless you, Dad.
Wear these every day.
No, he took them. He slid them off his own. My dad last thing he did is he slid off his underwear as he was dying. And he tucked
What
it
a
in my
beautiful gesture.
Yeah, he tucked it into my mouth. Which is weird. I'm like, ew.
Now that I think about it, I
you,
did
my son.
keep some of my Pop-Pop's old man joke art that he had because that was the only thing.
Yeah.
Like all the nostalgic stuff, I was like, no, I'm going to keep this Hooters hat and give it to my business partner.
And I love it. I still have it. I have that Hooters hat. Like I didn't even keep stuff for my own dead parents, but I have that Hooters hat because it's the stuff that really matters. I have a framed photo that to go along with exactly what you're saying for my grandma's house. It's a little boy screaming at a little girl, and the little girl's like, and the little boy's screaming at the little girl. He's like, "You can't touch mine. You already broke yours off." Man, that is some good Southern bathroom art,
awesome.
Man. Well, again, Casey Howell's going to be performing in Celebration this Friday at the Wilson in Orlando.
Come see me.
Cherry Pocket, Steak and Seafood, and Lake Wales on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
And go see Casey Howell. And it's
support the man. I was going to say support
We'll
the
be
boy.
rocking out.
Looking at all these photos of you as a little kid that I remember.
know,
You're like a taekwondo gi.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But I do think it's cool to look at old memories because a lot of times they get lost in your brain. You'll never remember them unless something sparks your memory again. And they are kept alive literally by the pictures.
Yeah.
Because you'd forget them, you know?
Some people have such a lonely experience that no one is ever a spark for them. And they just sit and die. Just think about that.
Yeah, I know.
But in the end, we're all it disappears anyway. All these memories just disappear.
It will all fade away. Eventually.
The wind blows. What's that? That's my dust.
That's our existential dread for the day.
All right.
Casey, Jeff, thanks so much for coming by.
Nice
Really
job,
appreciate
guys.
it.
All right,
guys.
we will be right back with
Enjoy
more
it.
corporate time.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube, and we have special guests, and we'd love it if you join us, like and subscribe. Who's on the couch, Tom?
Yeah. Well, to talk about the Florida Man games coming up March 1st, we haven't had this gentleman in studio for a while.
Florida
We're just
legend.
trying to figure out when the last time he's in
Florida's
studio.
living party legend.
Yeah, this is the legendary Mike Busey. How you doing, Mike?
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
he's here.
And also Miguel Cologne's on the couch.
My heterosexual life partner who drove me here.
Yeah.
We're going on a date after this.
You know what? Every time we leave the house, we go on like a full-on little date.
Yeah.
And I'm not
An
even,
Orlando jaunt.
Yeah,
A
I'm not
jaunt.
even lying. Like sometimes our staff is watching the snaps. And they're like, "Son of a bitch, they're at an antique shop," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"We
what'd you
needed
get?
stuff for the house."
What do you pick out? Well, any more themed rooms? Any expansions at the Sausage Castle? What's going on?
You know, I just broke this
you're
whole
fine.
thing.
Put it right back in there. Put it right in the hole. You got it. There you
Hey.
go. Perfect. You got it.
Yeah, a lot of people refer to me. They always say I must have been a gay interior designer in a previous life because I love to decorate some spaces.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I normally I have notes, but I don't have many notes for your studio. It's so amazing, looks so
obnoxious.
nice, so beautiful.
Thank
So no notes.
Well, we like obnoxious, and we like our own name, and I know that you're a fan. And once you had your logo of Sausage Castle and Mike Busey, you're going to put it everywhere.
Bro, I'm jealous. Every time I come here, I see the carpet. I'm like, Miguel, we need their carpet guy.
We got him.
Where is he?
Georgia. It's in right across the Florida-Georgia line. Seriously.
We're headed there after the show.
It's a tiny factory. They'll do it. They do all the cruise ship carpeting.
So let's get it out of the way. Let's talk about the Florida Man games.
Plug the deal.
So first, this is the second annual Florida Man
Second
games.
annual Florida Man games. Yep.
And it's in St. Augustine, but what's the park in St. Augustine?
I got to look it up. It's
the St. John's Fairgrounds.
St. John's Fairgrounds. So
I am not familiar. I went to school at Flagler, lived in St. Augustine. I am not familiar with the St.
I
John's
played
Fair.
college basketball against Flagler.
You probably destroyed us.
I did pretty good.
You're pretty good. Yeah.
Not so much right now.
You could bowl still.
I can still shoot, but because I'm just fat and not as mobile.
That's okay. That's all right.
I'm a really good shooter. I'm actually a better shooter now than I was in college.
I bet.
So, did you guys start the Florida Man games? Or are you guys hosting it?
So
Tell me
listen,
about it.
when we heard about this Florida Man games, we're like, Miguel, get the cease and desist ready because who the hell is infringing upon our likeliness? Because obviously,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that come to mind when you think about the Florida Man.
This is you, man.
And listen, I'm not saying what rank I'm at, but I better be in the damn conversation. And me and Miguel Cologne Jr. will be live at thefloridamangames.com. Use the promo code Busey.
20% off your ticket.
March 1st, Saturday. It's like an all-day type of beer drinking, alcohol consuming.
It's like a Ratchet Olympics celebrate. Yeah. All the games are based on headlines from Florida headlines that would start with Florida Man. Like, Florida Man throws an alligator through a drive-through window.
We saw that one.
That's part of the event.
Which I'm pretty curious how that's going to happen. But
yeah, I hope it's a real live alligator.
I brought you an alligator head.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
I want to see who can spiral the best alligator.
Yeah, and
I love a good alligator head.
I guess
I like some alligator head.
Yay!
Alligator animal abuse doesn't really seem like abusive.
You can't abuse an apex predator. You can only survive it.
I'll tell you what not to do. Don't ever put your in an alligator's mouth. Not a good idea.
Have you done that?
Spring break 2005, it started tossing. They're like, oh, we got to get it again. It was like, all the jackass guys, and they're like, oh, we got to get it again. And then it started rolling on me. It was like a little 4-foot alligator. Put my ball sack in there. Not a good idea.
Well, I went into the death roll.
So the baby alligator ball sack challenge.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dan Dennis. I'm looking at the camera. Hi, I'm Dan Dennis, and this is the baby alligator ball sack challenge.
It was consensual, in case you are wondering.
Sure. You got to have consent.
Yeah.
Speaking of the jackass guys, when was the last time you seen any of them? A lot of them, Steve-O.
Steve-O was on our podcast, the Mike Busey Show.
I think I saw that.
We shot the intro to his special, too, that he filmed.
Oh,
we
really?
shot it at the Sausage Castle. Yeah, we had a helicopter come in, pick him up, and then he hung from a ladder and sort of like swang through and knocked into all these things. And then we basically went into a wildlife preserve that we weren't supposed to go to, and we filmed the whole intro in there. And then later on, when wildlife called us up, we're like, "Hey, Mike, we saw some stuff on some game cameras." We're like, "What?" It's like Steve-O hanging from a ladder.
His tour bus. A military helicopter.
Yeah. And we were like, we couldn't do that?
Hold on. You rented a military helicopter and you're swinging Steve-O around?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say the word rented. It was more like we kind of borrowed and...
all right.
Shout out to my man Walter. He also has a contract with NASA and SpaceX. He secures the perimeter. We call it the box. No big deal.
We may go up with him from time to time. Be the reason that
I'm a part of a flight crew.
Yeah.
I got a flight suit and everything.
Yeah, we're 100% legit. Yeah,
I'm getting that Elon money, player. We're going up there. I'm telling crab fishermen, "Hey, get up out of here. We got a rocket. The Falcon 9's about to go up."
I'm like yelling at a door with a bunch of Haitians, like, "Hey, bon, ça passe, move, rocket."
I love that. We're doing it wrong, man.
Every time
we go home to our families, we could be doing this. We could be securing the box.
It's the coolest thing. Like when you hear on the comms, like mission control, and you tell them when to start the countdown for the Falcon 9 rocket. It's pretty wild.
And what's really cool is
you're in a you're in a no-fly zone, no airspace, and we have the authority to remove anyone from the box, which is like a 16 square mile area.
And what's crazy is when the rocket goes off, the chopper's flying. It's the closest vehicle you're ever going to be in, and you feel everything. And what they don't
Miguel and Mike Busey are in charge of this.
Oh, yeah, no, I bring all my friends.
No. He's brought Joey Fatone.
Yeah.
We brought Joey Fatone. Yeah, we bring all the homies. We're like, you want to go see a rocket? And here's the thing. They're like, they're like, this is a real legit. You need to have good clearance, all that. Yeah. And I'm sitting around with some girls like, oh, you like rockets? You want to go see a rocket?
Yeah, and then Walter just brings by, like, what, are you guys in a Black Hawk? What are you in?
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a Coast Guard helicopter, like a Coast Guard size.
Yeah. Was he just landed at the Sausage Castle at the helipad?
Yeah,
well, it has been over.
He took Steve-O to his show.
Because I know
from
you
there.
have a helipad there. I've seen the maps. I go on the site. I see what's going on there.
Thank you.
Man.
What's cool is, too, man, like...
No doors, by the way, either.
No doors in the chopper.
That's a real deal.
Yeah, and also, like,
Last time we saw you were in a chopper, you were crapping on the Hollywood side. That was a very small
that's the last time I've been to California.
Last time you were here, you brought the footage. You're like, guys, you got to see this. This is me diarrheaing.
You know what? Hold on.
On the Hollywood side. And it didn't get enough love.
Thank you.
And I retweeted it. I want to be on the record as retweeting you diarrheaing. Is that how you say it? You were diarrheaing on the Hollywood side.
I defecated on Hollywood. And then I landed and then flew back to Florida.
And then Walter picks him up and takes him to see the rocket.
And then the helicopter pilot from that was like, hey, Mike, I'm getting some calls from the FAA.
Yeah, it was a very scary time.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought that up because another crazy random story.
Yeah, please.
Last Sunday, Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins was hanging out in my living room till like 6 in the morning.
Bill Burr's brother?
Yeah, Bill Burr's brother. Yeah. The legendary rock god Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins sitting there. And in the Sausage Castle, there's like a loop of just like some of our best of, worst of videos. And he's like, I'm disgusted by it. I'm like, you don't like me pooping on Hollywood? I was like, that's where you're offended?
Where do you think he was?
You made Billy Corgan, he threw his scarf behind his head. He's mad as hell.
He literally told our buddy Brian Idol, he's like, I can't see this. I can't watch this again. And I was kind of I'm like, hey man, you know how many times I listened to Melancholy Infinite Sadness? I didn't go, I can't hear this. I love your work, Billy.
Yeah. That is your some would say that is your Siamese dream.
Yeah.
That is your Siamese dream.
Yeah.
Well, did he know where he was?
Yeah, no, he's been over to the house a few times.
Why the hell is he there? Yeah, I was going to say.
We were like, I can't believe this.
That's exactly how.
Yeah,
like
he's they're still up to it. I thought things had changed last time I rolled through.
And I love that you say scarf because no lie, he had the scarf on and his jacket hanging from his shoulders. And he's just like, I hate this video.
And meanwhile, it's like an hour of the most ratchetest, wildest things, and that's what offended him.
That is low-key one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Because I always think of him as being super pretentious, right?
Yeah.
But then I know he's a super heavy wrestling fan. So then I'm like, no, he's super cool. Like, and everybody that I've talked to is like, oh no, you got to meet him. He's super cool. But this brings it back to
That's the line. That's the line.
I like
told
brings
him
it back.
I'm like, Billy Joe from Green Day was cool with it. You know?
He's amazing, and
that's cool.
Yeah, I absolutely love him.
So you guys got to. What other news celebrities have been popping? Any newer? Because I know you're going to get those guys because they already know of you. But are the kids? Are they younger? Are the Gen whatever we're at now? Are they latching on? To
a couple of them we tapped in with like some
the Mexican
like the Note
OT.
Boys.
Man, that Mexican OT is basically our young little blood brother now. Yo, he's such a good homie too.
Can you explain that style of whatever it is to Tom? Because I love it. In fact, I want the teeth.
Yeah,
and I'm growing my hair out, and I wear a cowboy hat. I can do this.
What's Mexican OT?
I like.
What's a Mexican? Go ahead, Miguel. I'll let the ethnic guy take over from here.
What's a Mexican OT? That's going to cost you $75 an hour, son. And if you wanted to be a lady, it's $100. That Mexican OT is a rapper out of Texas, man. That Mexican out of Texas, and he's blowing up. Amazing rapper. That style now is sort of it's Texas trap. So it's cowboy hats, it's big trucks, it's hunting, and it's gold grills and hip hop.
I love it.
And we met him, and we met
Beautiful soul.
Beautiful soul. Great kid. Young guy. Was 24, something like that? 23? He's a young kid, man. We met him in Texas. We were at our buddy Co Wetzel's birthday party.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, and so Co had Paul Wall and that Mexican OT performing, and we had already met Paul Wall a couple years back.
I told you a little bit about this. Paul Wall went on it like the last couple months. He's been on a bit of a little surge.
Paul Wall's coming back, baby.
He is
Paul Wall's coming back.
Yeah,
Dr. Teeth.
Paul Wall is coming back.
Dr. Teeth, baby. Okay, man. Hey, listen, it's all coming back. It's secular.
I love when I see somebody coming back through trends, and I'm like, I know who that is. And I'm like, yeah, Paul Wall.
Hold on. Before we continue, what happened to Daddy Longneck? Because I haven't seen it in a while.
Listen. And I don't want to step on anything, but if you only got one thing going, after a while, it don't go no more. You know, that's just how it is. You know?
Come on.
Yeah,
all neck, no brakes.
Yeah.
He still has a long neck, too. Why is it as popular?
Every time he came over, he was like peeing in water bottles and then like not throwing them away.
And he talks all crazy like, hey, man.
That'll change how people feel about you.
I'm going to tell you this,
even if you have the world's longest neck, if you just start peeing in bottles and leaving them in Mike Busey's guest bathroom.
Will I poop on the Hollywood sign? Yes. But if you invite me to your home, I'm not going to like leave my urine and bottles laying around
That's
bunk
what he
beds.
was doing on bunk beds. And then
see, this guy knows.
Why was he doing that?
Because he thought his legs were broken. He's like, I broke my legs. I was like, your legs aren't broken. He just like twisted his ankle. He's like, I broke my leg. And then here's the thing. I had all these like mixed emotions.
A special needs neck man thought he broke his legs, so I call it on the floor peeing in the bottle.
I call it like the sea urchin era of like Instagram. There was like a 3-year period where like if you had an abnormality, you were going to be famous.
Mike Bagout, can you just see my business partner? There's nothing that makes him happier than when people that are like weirdos or like oddballs.
You want to talk about my new man crush? Lobster Boy, the real Lobster Boy. That's my dude.
Hold on, what's Lobster Boy?
I got him some You know what I'm talking about?
Lobster boy. Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got the lobster hands and no feet, basically, that are all weird.
He doesn't pee in bottles, which is a plus.
Yeah, his family.
No feet and lobster claws.
Lobster claws. And the young man's family story is crazy. His father was killed his family and stuff.
Oh my God.
The American Horror Story lobster stories are all.
So wait, the dad was a
murderous lobster.
The dad.
And his dad was a lobster too.
The dad was a lobster.
Yeah, they're all crustaceans. And so
the dad went wild and killed everybody in the family except for the son that looks like a lobster.
Let me be responsible for once any type of live broadcast. We have a 24 year-round scare trail. Thanks to the
Tales of Terror built us a scare
people.
trail.
Okay. Shout out to Tales of Terror.
So we have a scare trail, Halloween, Christmas. All throughout the year, we have different scare trails.
It's a big haunted house with the facade of a scary mansion, and you walk through. It's gorgeous.
So every now and then we meet an interesting person, and I met Lobster Boy during the Halloween month. We were running it basically every weekend. And I
gotta kill my whole family. His hands are like the penguin from Batman Returns. Yeah,
which is what we've been begging Miguel to dress up as Halloween for years.
Dresses the penguin from Batman.
I was like, I want to see you bite into a fish, Miguel.
So Mike fell in love with this lobster boy. He's trying to move him in and everything like that.
It's still probably going to happen.
You put him in your menagerie.
Yeah.
Is he on social media as Lobster Boy?
Yeah, but he's not.
He needs some power behind him.
He's on there, but he's not.
He doesn't know how to weaponize it like you do.
We filmed a very lovely lady, Ray, who is doing well in the adult industry. Was living with us for a
did
while.
Lobster Boy get some porno?
Lobster Boy got claws deep.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm actually trying to pull up the video.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
And she was so excited. Like when Mike pitched it to her, he was like, "Hey, beautiful young black girl."
like Steven Spielberg.
I don't know if you can show this, but I'll just show it below the camera. That's the Lobster Boy.
Holy smokes!
Oh, you thought this was a game?
Yeah, you can't put that on
Yeah.
That's a real guy.
Listen.
That's
we can talk about celebrities all day, but let's talk.
That looks like My Precious from
Oh yeah,
Smeagol.
Smeagol.
He's the nicest dude.
He's the nicest lobster you're ever going to meet.
Show him to Billy Corgan, quick.
Billy Corgan.
Sometimes I got to hoard my my oddities.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Billy
Corgan
will be driving his 1920s jalopy with glasses on. That's so weird.
So Mike, when you and Miguel find a new discovery, a new guy. So you got Lobster Boy.
I mean, he's literally the most legit. I mean, his father was on the album cover of Silverchair.
It's Sebastian the Crab and then him. Those are the two biggest crustaceans.
He's lineage of, because I thought Lobster Boy was just a syndrome you got or something.
No, it's
He's one of
he's famous.
Yeah, he's the bloodline of the original OG Lobster Boy. So this isn't like a half-ass
and nobody's
lobster.
breeding more.
Has anybody thought about maybe using his superior DNA to breed a group of lobster people that live at the Sausage Castle?
Listen,
it's not out.
We're working on it, right? We're working on it.
Do you remember the movie Logan?
Yeah.
Remember where the Hulks they were all incestuous? The Hulk.
Yeah. You're talking about old man Logan.
Yeah. Remember the Hulk people, but they were all incestuous and lived in the caves or whatever. I think that's right. Anyway, sorry, you're just blowing my mind.
We just don't know how they breed yet. We don't know.
So speaking of weird things,
please continue.
You can go to thefloridamangames.com. You can sign up. You can get tickets.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. And so, I mean, if you've ever wanted to run away from the police, this is your chance. If you ever wanted to
they're
steal
real
a
law
catalytic
enforcement
converter,
officers. Real law enforcement officers. So there's a challenge, like Mike said, where you steal a catalytic converter and you have to run from law enforcement. And they have real off-duty law enforcement officers there for you to test it out.
And the off-duty ones are mad because they can't get to their wives.
Oh, yeah.
Get them. Mad.
And so I looked at some of the teams that are competing in Florida Man Games. They're all represent a location in Florida. I
Correct.
noticed. We have the Ball Buster Gainesville team.
Okay.
The Holy something St. Augustine team. I can't read my own handwriting.
and I got kind of emotional feelings about some of this because I'm always like St. Augustine, cool, Ponce de Leon, and whatever.
Yeah.
But that ain't Florida. you're there to make sure that the essence of Florida man is protected and represented. Yeah. Okay, if you're not from Orlando, Tampa, South Florida,
Duval,
Daytona, like how Florida are you?
That new guy, right?
Deltona.
Yeah. If you're not an owner,
yeah.
DeLand's on there.
Now check this part out. That's really cool. The Orlando team is actually getting picked live from the audience, and Mike's doing the selection.
Oh, cool. No, really?
So if you're coming to the Florida Man games, you want to represent Orlando, you come while out. Me and Mike are going to be there.
So if you're black, make sure you're at the front of the line because we're going to need you on my team.
Okay.
I'm picking all the black guys first. Then we'll go to the whites.
I did notice from the website that it's
a white event.
Well, let me ask you this: what other
we
race?
can change that.
Yeah, what other race?
I'd like to make it a little more lobstery. A little more black.
There's no South Florida there.
No.
All these teams, like there needs to be a Cuban Pete Miami or
There's
something.
no other race but white people that want to spend their
Team
weekend.
Trick Daddy from Day County.
Spend their weekend pretending that they're running from the cops.
Most of the real Floridians that I've met are your friends, and they're Miami folks.
I'm most mad at Team Pensacola because their name is Flawed Man Pensacola. They missed the Vape Pensacola.
Yeah.
It's the easiest,
way
best
better.
Florida man named team.
East
is
Alabama.
Vape Pensacola.
Yeah, I love it.
Anyway.
But our guy Pete, he's
Pete
the
Melfi,
one,
shout out the one who created the Florida Man games.
Yeah, he's really I love his energy and what he's doing, and he's really like doing something fun, but he's also on that borderline of like, hey, it's gonna get crazy, and yeah, man, and we're just happy to be a part of it, and we would hope everyone can come out to it. It's gonna be fun.
And what's the promo code again? So the
Busey. Go to thefloridamangames.com. It's something that your wife will let you go do, boys. Okay, all right. Listen, this is like golf on Saturday with the boys. You can just come out with the boys.
Can I bring my sons?
Yeah,
Because
you can actually.
I have a 9 and 10-year-old now, and I feel like my dad brought me to a lot of inappropriate events.
Oh yeah, we're commentating. It's going to be slightly inappropriate.
I watched Platoon with my dad when I was 8, and I was like, "What's going on here?" He's like, "Freedom, boy."
This will give them some grit. They get to.
It's just rite of passage.
Experience.
I'm going to take you to see Mike Busey and Miguel.
How many people were there last year?
6,000 people.
Oh, it was packed.
Yeah, this ain't no rinky-dink field day, boys. This is pretty legit. I mean, it's wild.
So okay, back to like
Lobster Boy.
the Sausage Castle. Okay, so
that place.
Well, you mentioned like every time we leave the compound, we go out and explore. How much?
I left my house, my driveway, 12 times in 2024.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I think though you're not counting trips. You're counting driving adventures because we went on a couple more trips than that out of state.
All right, 16-ish.
Yeah, that's it.
That's still not a lot.
That's
like
not
once
a
a
lot.
month. Really nothing.
I bring him information from the outside world. I come to him. I'm like, my liege, you must know eggs are expensive now.
Excuse me, Mike.
On the way here, I'm like,
Lobster Boy sent a rave.
Yeah.
This is what I'm curious about because at this point in time, I mean, this is the 8th incarnation of Sausage Castle. You are a legend, Busey.
Thank you.
And
I don't think you're comfortable enough to just use his last name.
No. I mean, that's what you do with legends.
Hey, I'll show you my right now. Have y'all seen? You want to see it?
We have.
I know. Yeah, that's how
I've actually. People have sent me videos of it, and I like that you made other people show their to you.
People are showing my. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, the frame. I could technically just have my out the whole time during the show. You wouldn't know.
We had that one time.
So
and we had to delete the video. Remember that?
It was for me.
It was you.
Why did you
think?
I was cautiously trying to tell him because I didn't want to mess his vibe up. But I was like, hey, maybe you want to wear pants today. Remember, I kept bringing that up.
Fine. It's fine. He's family.
So I'm curious because with the internet and social media, you guys are global, and you guys have been global for a while, and
longer than most, I would say.
25 years and counting. But hey, who's counting?
With that much exposure, do you have people just like coming from all parts of the world and just finding you guys because they're looking for whatever you offer? So just wander into the like, hey, I'm here. I came from Australia.
All the time.
Okay, yeah.
So we've done. I think I can recite this properly. 2 French shows that were like on some super big like it was called Canal Plus or something like HBO over there. 2 shows in Ireland. The Netherlands, like one of our biggest shows that we were a part of. was this show. I think it's called like Shut Up and Swallow. Like,
Spit and Swallow.
But it's something in Dutch or something. And it was on right before American Idol's like season finale. They're showing us on primetime television in the Netherlands. So I have like a lot of followers like globally, and same thing with Miguel. Like he's been doing comedy all over Europe, and he travels. He leaves the house a little more than I do.
I come back and tell them stories. I'm like, Michael, gather around.
But you've always been this beacon for the people that have no place to go and that are like considered outcasts of society. So I imagine that it's almost like a religion where people I must like migrate almost to the Sausage Castle, where to the point where it probably becomes a problem after
what
a while.
happens is people think that there's a party every day.
And
they could just show. And sometimes because we have
like yesterday, some guy's like, "Yo, I'm here to party," and he's at the gate, and I'm like,
"It's Tuesday." Sometimes like even
you take him to Marcus Jordan's house on a Monday. Right? Like that guy's cocaine Rachel's crazy.
Marcus, that's my dude.
I knew you hung out. I was going to ask you that next.
When he first came to UCF, me and him were like, I was like showing him the ropes and everything, and then like within like a week, every dude was just like, "Here, Marcus, you want this? I'll give you everything."
Tell him the letter. Tell him the letter you got.
Oh, I got a cease and desist from UCF and the NCAA because, back when this thing was called, before it was called podcast, and we call internet radios. And Marcus was getting tattooed over at the Sausage Castle. I mean, I guess I could talk about this now. We just talked the other day, so
the NCAA.
Considering his last series of events, I'm actually the good influence.
Oh my God!
I'm like, Marcus, what have you done?
I mean, like you gotta talk some sense into him.
The NCAA sent Mike a cease and desist letter, like, "Hey, you can't be posting our athlete hanging out at your house, getting tattoos." And shooting machine guns because Marcus was shooting machine guns.
He shot his first gun at my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So you're like a father figure to him.
Yeah, I tried to steer him clear and try to keep him in the ways of the Lord, but
try to
those
keep
boys
his Lamborghini on the right track.
Yeah. He'd be getting wild.
Oh, you're a father figure to Michael Jordan's son.
Let me ask a question. Raise your hand in here if you've ever been drunk and turned allegedly.
No, I've actually never ever drunk and drive.
Yeah.
One time I went to a party and I took like a shot of Jaeger. This is like 2001, and I had my motorcycle and I literally just pushed it like miles because not that I can't drink and drive. I could do anything.
Well,
drunk.
you think you do because you're talking.
But
in
I'm just
theory.
scared of the police. I ain't trying to get arrested.
You're talking in theory. Let me and Dan handle this as experts. I've been like, man, you did great driving, and they're like, you drove us. I'm like, oh Jesus.
So, okay, back to because I want to.
Yes, they come from all around the world, bro. And when we have our events, like March 14th, 15th, and 16th is our first members weekend. Go to MikeBusey.com.
Okay.
You can sign up and come to our members weekend. It's a 3-day party. Everything's included. They have food trucks out there and stuff. But at those events, we have members that they plan this all year long. They come from around the world. They come to see each other. There's groups of camps that get together. But that's when we want you to come, guys. We want you to come when we advertise something. But yeah, Tom, to let you know, like, there'll be somebody at our driveway with all their bags and like, guys, I'm here to live. And we're like, get the hell away from my property.
That's like one of the most popular questions we get asked. Like, hey, how do I get to come and party with you and hang out? And when I say party, that doesn't mean like drugs, because for those who don't know, I've never even smoked weed. I've never done coke, pills. I'm drug free. I drink liquor when the sun's down.
You hear that, NCAA?
Yeah,
you hear that?
Hey, you hear that? I'm the good influence. But it's really simple. I mean, if you got a working credit card and you're over 18, you can go to MikeBusey.com, sign up, become a member, see all of our crazy, uncensored, wild content for the last 25 years, and that's how you get invited to our monthly events. Mm-hmm. It's
they've been through an entire cycle of pubic hair.
That's
how long you've been doing.
I'm like a 25-year freshman at UCF.
I know. Yeah, in the like, when was the original Sausage Castle?
I couldn't even tell you.
Because
2001.
2001 is when it started.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because
so about the time of the video you were watching of me at the House of Blues. 24 years ago. Like we were all making fun of. Like, I had like Z Cavaricci's on.
Oh,
I've
you
got a tiny
swimming in.
1,000 belt loops. 1,000 belt loops.
What did that trucker hat you were wearing say?
I no trucker hat. Ooh. I had the Rob Thomas haircut.
And I know we talked about it, but it's like your life is perfectly suited for social media, and you started this before social media. You know, so it was like
back in the day. Only thing there was like to kind of compare. They didn't like call it like content or or a YouTuber, because I remember being like one of the first 100,000 people, I'm for sure on YouTube. I would be like, yo, man, there's this thing called YouTube. And they're like, what, like internet television? Yeah, that's a great way to explain it. But the real world on MTV was like the only thing that was like comparable. It was like people all living in a house together. And then the name is horrible. The Sausage Castle, it's like the most worst name ever, but it was just 7 dudes living in a house, and all the chicks would come over like, oh, it's like a house of sausages. And we're like, oh, hey, chill out. And then they just called it Sausage Castle, put it on the flyer, and then that was the history.
Probably didn't give a lot of thought to it, and it built itself, right?
I mean, you put it on I was making flyers with Microsoft Paint and like using it like printer paper and the whole, like the most horrible artwork, and like, yo, we're having a party, and then you have thousands of people show up, and it becomes legendary. Just before social media.
Is it hard to compete now though when everybody's trying to do it? You feel like? Because I know
it's
ours
oversaturated. It's oversaturated, and then there's a lot of like other aspects that come into play. That's psychological, the attention spans of the world, and the access, and then it's definitely oversaturated. So everyone's kids don't want to become doctors or lawyers anymore. They're like, I'm going to be a TikToker and all these things. So everyone's in this space. Many of them are very amazing, like Mr. Beast and all these people that do it such at a high level. And then you got like people that, you don't want to crush their dreams, but you're like, oh man, you should probably take up some plumbing or
like a skill, like a trade.
Yeah. And a lot of them, they get married, they give up on life, they have kids, they do like big boy jobs and stuff. But yeah, we've been, we've just been keep going. We won't stop until I'm dead in the ground.
Well, that's the commitment that other people, because I was about to ask if there's copycats out there that try to start another party house. Potty or party.
Well, it's because they don't have the passion.
Write that potty house.
Well, the commitment too, to keep it going and nonstop, because this is a lifestyle for you.
There's plenty of times I want to blow my brains out. I'm just like, I'm going to do live suicide, but I'm like, oh man, I'm shadow banned. I don't know if enough people will watch it. I guess I'll kill myself next week, folks. I gotta somebody start sharing it and liking this, because we don't got enough viewers right now for this live suicide.
I'm gonna do it.
But it's because like you're doing something you truly love, and you're passionate about it. Like I was doing this before I was making any money.
Yeah.
I was living in a walk-in closet 8 years ago.
That's the thing we tell people too, because people will ask. They're like, "What's he like?" And I'm like, "Well, since the time we've met him until like the time we're meeting you again today, exactly.
It's not an act.
It's not an act.
Yeah, no, it's just genuine, real stuff that I'm no better than anyone else. I've just like cared more and was passionate in my work ethic. I only sleep 4 hours a day. So I'm really about this. I don't care if people are watching or not. I share my intimate moments of my life with the world in hopes that it gives people an escape from the harsh realities of life. There's some guy who's watching y'all's show right now that his girl has not given him any mouth hugs in a while, and he's very depressed and upset and frustrated. And he probably
that's me, Mike.
Well, boys, me and Miguel came here to have an intervention.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Thomas, have a seat right there.
There's a guy who's working right now listening to this, and he hates his boss. His job's a dead end situation. So to me, not to get all like, fuzzy and sunflowers and butterflies, but I feel that like my only true gift to the world is to like share my life and invite, because my whole life's a party and everyone's invited. Like you literally could just go to MikeBeasley.com, become a member, and be in my living room within like a couple days of an event.
I've been making this joke for a while recently about just becoming a legend, and it's hard to do, and most people just end up becoming,
you conform to
society. You got the wife and kids, and you do that, you die. And then it's like you never, and then I'm like, man, like having the commitment to truly become a legend.
Well, you mean like truly doing what you want.
Well, especially in these times, because like people eventually
and not stopping.
Time exposes, like if you're not doing improper things, or if you're not being like you're some creep piece of pedo or rapist, or if you're not some drug addict or you're a racist piece of eventually that comes to light, And if you got a good heart and you're doing it for the right reasons, because like. Me and Miguel would be doing this if no one was here, or if there was no money or all the money. Like we're passionate about entertaining people. We're the typical fat kid, we're the class clown that never grew up and we had to turn into a business. And we were lucky to be ahead of the curve before social media and monetization and all this other stuff. So we're kind of like some dinosaurs in this business.
And you're right about if you were a bad person or did bad things, you would be exposed a long time. It would never keep going. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing people can't understand. They're like, how does it keep going?
He says that, and I'm like,
well, that's like put our whole life out there.
Like, you're supposed to nervously look around during that part.
I mean, we have the internet now. People find stuff. There's no hiding anything.
Like that. Have you made any enemies?
Not really, honestly.
Doesn't
because
seem like you have. Made
I'll have someone talk shit.
Like the county. I don't count that.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of a big deal, but that was like a 10-year battle. They burnt my house down. No big deal.
We may have offended Billy Corgan, but other than
that, yeah. Like luckily, I always tell people, as long as you're not raping women or kids or not a racist piece of shit, you got some longevity to you, kid. Yeah. You just gotta stay in the game.
Able to do some
now
stuff.
You notice every time you curse, he's got to mark the time down.
It's fine. It's fine.
What I'm saying, I'm just being real. Like if you're a good dude or a woman or whatever you identify as, if you're just rocking and rolling and you stay focused and you just keep going, and if you, I know it sounds so cliche to say, and I hate to say it, but if you love what you're doing, I mean, y'all aren't doing this because you got fancy custom carpet. Y'all love doing this, and it's what you get. It's your drug. Like I don't do drugs, and I'm sure I don't think y'all do drugs, but. Yeah.
I smoke so much marijuana.
Well, that's medicine now.
Is that a drug? I don't really consider that a drug. Even though I've never smoked that. So
that's on the corner store.
You get ketamine in a bodega now, boy.
That really isn't like that's funny because I think we can identify with you a lot because we always make fun of ourselves because we're not no cocaine, no crazy. We're not even mushroom guys, and that's right now.
Kind of boring.
That's another thing too. When I say hey, come party with us. Party, I kind of want to. I've been recently saying just come celebrate life because you don't have to be drunk or you don't have to be intoxicated. You don't have to be shoving drugs up your anus or you don't got to party. Like I feel like that term has been tainted. It's been it's been demonized. Like party, no, you ever gone out and had fun and laughed and had some fun? That's partying. That's celebrating life. You don't have to be drunk or it's obviously a lot more fun.
Like Lobster Boy,
drinks,
I bet you he's high on life.
So how many people does it take to maintain the compound? Because I know we talked to you about this, but you have so many. I mean, there's
we're not able to keep any of our employees. Are you going to ask him how to keep employees?
Just mowing the lawn. If that much.
Shout out to Rowdy Rob. He was leap low in the driveway as we left.
To let you know, we only have 3 employees.
Okay,
and then everyone's just doing everything. Now, Rowdy Rob runs the entire compound. Everything from fixing a vehicle, trimming trees, cutting the grass. It's one guy who's generally doing all that. Chris does all our editing, all our video work. He also fixes everything. He was a helicopter mechanic in the Army in 160th SOAR.
But Rowdy Rob's a veteran too, so everyone's these are guys that have been me and Miguel go back 15 plus years.
Veterans. We're going to get an Army of veterans.
Yes. we all have to do everything together, and because the thing is we've brought help in, but if they're not dedicated to what's happening here, it's hard. Some people just want to party. Some people also some people are great people, but they can't understand the work. We could be turning around getting ready to go home, and all of a sudden Mike's like, hey, Billy Corgan wants to stop by, he wants to shoot a video, let's all do, and then it's like, all right, we're doing this. You know?
So there isn't, we don't live in a corporate situation. We don't have an HR.
I'm the head of HR, and how it works is this: you raise your hand.
The head of HR is crab deep.
Yeah, you raise your hand and say HR, and then you can say whatever you want. You could be like, HR, you're a goddamn liar.
All right.
We just have this pirate ship kind of mentality. There's a captain, and then there's a hierarchy, and everyone has a job on the ship, and then you got to do it. And if you don't do it, you're gone. And the people I have with me, I'm so blessed to have. They're not employees. These are my friends, which is obviously a problem too, because the lines are blurred.
Sure.
That's rough.
That was my next question. Yeah. And how do you manage that?
Me and Miguel, we get in arguments about the craziest things all the time, but we love each other, and we're always going to be honest with each other. And we're always I want to see him succeed. He wants to see me and the business succeed. And it's really there's no magic sauce to it. It's just we're just trying to figure it out, just like everyone else is. But we're just a little more determined and passionate about what we're doing.
So with we're running out of time because there's so much stuff.
No, it's okay. I just gave y'all an extra hour. We're good.
I love it.
The new school like social media influencers, because I know you've always
they all had to come in and check in. If you come to Florida, you come and check in with Mike Busey and Miguel Colon Jr. at the Sausage Castle, and you name it. Like, I'm talking like, I mean, I feel like a douchebag when I drop names all the time, but yeah, they all had to check in. They all got to be like, hey, they got to come in and kiss the ring, and they bring us gifts and stuff. And we have a group called NFT.
These guys are great, man.
From UCF, and we're I feel like Rodney Dangerfield sometimes. We're having a whole house full of college freshmen partying, blacking out, dying. We got things with Disney World. They bring their Disney college program students over. And no one speaks English in the kitchen. They're like, bonjour, je m'appelle. And I'm just like, what?
It's like being at the Germany Pavilion.
I'll tell you to say something about it, Tom. What we make sure we do is we know we're the old guys. We know some of these new guys know things we don't know and know it. We just make ourselves relevant by not being these old asses that are like, in our day, we're like, you want to come live stream from the castle? And they're like, can we? And then we meet them, we get down, and we just unk them. We become unks because we know our place. We are not the young, cool kids anymore, but we're the cool uncles.
Yeah.
You know, and that gives us a way to work with them. We can tap into their audiences tap into us. We can share information and learn some new things from them as well.
There was definitely a learning curve because, I mean, we had to, I'm not speaking on behalf of Miguel, but I had to humble myself a few times. I'm like, all right, bring him over here. I don't know what is his name? He's got how many followers? Oh my god! All right, whatever.
It's just crazy.
Oh, he's streaming live right now. There's 150,000 people watching him live right now.
Yeah.
All right, well, who's this dude? What's his name? Neon. All right, bring him in. Well, I don't know who he is. Bring him in.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
We get set up on these mandates. They just show up, and then we're just like, hey, what's up? We had to like. Because we don't really care if you're like super famous in your world, but like how are you as a person?
Right.
Are you an asshole? Are you self-entitled?
Do you fit in around here?
Yeah. So it's like, bro, you've been doing this for a year. We've been doing this for 25 years.
I know.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like we're cockroaches in the game.
Do you still do the stage show?
Yeah, we still be doing the stage show. The live broadcast, directing music videos, TV shows, movies. Like we got our hands in every aspect.
Podcasting,
of podcasting. If you're into podcasting, you can check out the Mike Busey Show and Miguel on Real Laughs.
And then we also do live events still. Like I said, we're hosting the Florida Man Games where we just know this. We've seen everybody choose one path and then not make it when that path narrows. And we know that if we have our hands in everything and we're doing everything well and we're exercising well and we're taking care of everything, we can be successful forever.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we've also had to, like I said, humble ourselves and learn because we're like, hold on, to do what now? What's this thing called? What? It's called a what? Hold on, download this. Like, all right, I got to make a profile. All right, another social media to like, it's the way things set up now because I'm a little bit of a scientific analyzer of like the social media aspects of how things go and reach, and so there is some science to it. There is some things you got to like really get in, and like I said, with the market so saturated, you're competing for people's attention and you only have it for a second. So if you're lucky enough to keep your audience engaged, you got to really like keep them dialed in because they're going to scroll up. Like, it's like, remember back in the day when, like, Rotten.com was around?
Yeah.
And you you'd watch the same video. I was watching Cake Farts for years. I'm turning people on still to cakefarts.com. I don't know if that's the URL anymore.
No,
but
I still put it on my wife's laptop every time I walk past it.
It's magical, but back in those days, you would watch that for months, if not years. You'd be like, your friends would come over like, yo, bro, you got to see this chick farting on cakes, man. It's crazy. Now, that's in a feed. We're just like dialed in, and you'll scroll right. You could watch the most beautiful video in the world. Like back in the day, you go to the movies, and you watch E.T., bro, that movie was good for 6 months to a year, if not longer. You're like, yo, that's it. Now you're just like, all right, next. Someone could watch all the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, and like, and sit on the couch, and that's it.
And you
If
guys,
somebody could get E.T. farting on a cake,
There's an ET porn.
Yeah.
I sent it to Mike.
It's still in my search history.
Don't watch it.
I think I might want to watch that.
But you
I love goofy porn.
You guys have also seen the value of a following is a spectrum as well, because there are some let's say bikini model influencers that have like 200,000 followers on Instagram or something, but they couldn't get 5 people out to
100%.
anywhere or sell 10 T-shirts or whatever.
Because here's the thing, people are stupid.
Yes.
In these days, but a lot of people are just not stupid. They consume the content, and eventually they kind of have like this inner monologue with themselves, like, all right, is this person genuine, or is this like something of value? You know, if me and I'm sure there's a website somewhere in the dark web, me and Miguel could be farting on cakes, but eventually they're not going to be dialed in as much if we're not only showing people content, but we're inviting them to be a part of it, to experience it in real life. Like Jake Paul is not saying, go to jakepaul.com, become a member, and I'm going to let you hang out and camp on my campgrounds for 3 days and get drunk and hang out with, Lobster Boy and all these weird, cool, sexy people and fun and interesting. I mean, it's every walk of life. I mean, a lot of people now, they all got anxiety or they got social, malfunctions. But, dude, you could come over to my house and literally be the most introverted person and just link up with somebody, and all of a sudden, and it's magical. It does not happen out in the real life. You won't see, like, a gangster dreadlock do a gold teeth and a Trump supporter and some 18-year-old sorority girl, Lobster Boy, and some guy who's obese, all hanging out and vibing.
Morbidly obese. I like that. I like that, and I dream of that sometimes. A place where the morbidly obese, the Trump supporter, the gold tooth, dreadlock thugster, and a sorority girl can all come together.
Yeah, and I'm talking
about needs now.
Yeah, I do that. Like that is what I like.
You're flying in a helicopter watching a show.
Hey guys, we gotta go. There's a SpaceX rocket launching.
Yeah.
All the crazy things that we've done. It's like, dude, everyone, I'm obsessed with my own legacy. I want to leave behind something that will outlive me. And of all the stupid, crazy things we do, that's to like draw you in. It's like we're like the preacher that serves beer at church. We oh, hey, you want some beer? You like strippers and midgets? Come over here, kid.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, there's like more heart behind it, and you got to dig a little, because no one wants to hear me give a TED talk like Gary Vee on my social media. That they want to see the fun, exciting stuff. So I do the little dance for them.
Yeah.
I put the clown paint on, and it's me. It's who I am. I love that stuff. I'm never gonna grow up all the way.
You come for the lobster claws,
but you fall in love with the cheddar biscuits.
Exactly. That's That's well said.
But your legacy will last. And then, have you thought about this? Is there any passing it down to someone?
Hey, listen. Hey, I'm glad we were talking about it on the way here. I've been trying to get anybody pregnant. If you got an iPhone, a job, and you don't
wait a minute, your
drugs,
wife said she'd be a surrogate.
Hey, listen.
Your wife was the surrogate.
I won't say no names, but I had a couple.
You're sitting on her face right there. That's Tom's wife.
This is your wife?
That's Tom's wife.
No, I got Tom's.
Who's this guy?
That is Bart Merrick. They're business partners.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's his wife for sure, and she will be a surrogate for Mike. I will set this up.
No, seriously.
I've been in the lobby. Mo DeWitt. Draw up the paperwork.
2025.
Crystal Van surrogate for Mike Busey.
I'm
Lobster Boy officiating.
What are the rules? He's like busts in a jar and hands it over, or we do it
I think we go original roll it in flour
old
style.
School, bro.
There we go.
I think it's got to be Handmaid's Tale holding the arms.
Yeah.
Old Dutch rudders.
Hey, my penis is so small, I don't know if it'll even count if I penetrate, so he's good.
All right.
It's a reconnaissance mission.
She'll love this.
2025, I'm dumping into everybody. I already got a girl pregnant. I've never talked about this publicly. I'm not going to say her name, but very, very attractive blonde lady. Super sexy. And I got
Hey. It's okay. It's not your fault. Hold your hand to this.
No, this is real. I got the sonogram in my closet. I got a girl pregnant, which I was trying, And then this bitch killed my baby. She took the pill. She took the pill.
The morning after pill.
The pill to the
Hey, bro, I'm in mourning, bro.
Yeah,
I'm in mourning.
Yeah, it does if the baby takes the pill.
That's not how the morning after pill works.
Yeah.
A lot of misinformation.
Hey, listen,
Tons of misinformation.
Hey, listen, I support women's rights to do whatever they want with their uteruses and stuff. But it doesn't mean
She put
I
a
can't
hit
cry.
on my baby.
She tried to that head, that big old head and the big teeth and that little. That baby was gonna be somebody. She ruined my dream. My whole nightmare was like my biggest fear growing up was to get someone pregnant, and now I'm like, yo, I'm 44 years old. If anyone wants to come get these kids, I got this non-vaccinated jizz. I'm ready to.
It's all right. That's worth something.
You got the Patriot squirt.
Yeah, I'm ready, baby.
I'll tell my wife that during the business deal.
She'll like it. That'll seal the deal.
He's got
She will. She'll look at it. She'll be like, hold on a second. He's a good American?
Yeah. I got good credit. I got diaper money. What's up, baby? You trying to get pregnant?
Because the last
I'm
thing
being
you
dead ass
want-
serious. I literally got a sonogram like a month ago, and she
It was like a terrorist threat.
and there was like a countdown. Miguel's like, "How much time do we have?" And we were having meetings
Miguel was
about
scared
it.
for his own life.
I'm in the situation room like, Mr. Busey, we have to act now.
Yeah, now, from what
We
I
gotta
know.
get out of here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
I just talking about my dead baby. Y'all gonna cut me off?
There's no way we could air this on ACT.
I mean, if I cut it, yeah.
I
I got it all written
We'll do it
down.
live.
Yeah. We're just gonna release this as a uncensored podcast at this point.
whatever you wanna do.
Because it's impossible to.
I love you, Cadillac. I wanted you to live, baby.
I like the challenge, but it's up to you, man. I like the challenge.
Mike Busey, Miguel, thank you so
seeing you
much.
guys.
Oh, where y'all going? Y'all got things to do.
Well, we have to talk to our attorney.
Our biggest sponsor are lawyers
Hey,
here.
before we leave, then just go to MikeBusey.com. You can come to all the events. Come check everything out.
Yeah.
We've got our members weekend coming up the 14th, 15th, and 16th of March. We'll be at the Florida Games March 1st, hosting and selecting the Orlando team. If you sign up at MikeBusey.com, become a member. You can watch all of our old content. You can come to all of our events. There's no charges or anything like that, and we have events scheduled for the rest of the year.
There you go.
Before you guys do your member event, you guys should come back in because there's a million
100%.
things.
I do want to say this. There's been several times that I've met some fellow BDMers.
Yeah.
And, dude, they're always so cool and so
good.
nice and so supportive. And a lot of people are like, hey, man, I thought you were a real douchebag until I heard you on Tom and Dan. And
I killed a baby, too.
There are a lot of them out there, man.
Yeah, so all of your listeners, man,
that's
they're
cool.
they're really awesome.
We'd love to come back. It's a couple weeks from now. Would you mind? We'll
Yeah,
come back?
no, 100%.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's do it.
Oh, we'd love to.
And
Thank
then
you
that
guys.
way we won't even put any limitations on it. We'll just roll it.
Yeah. Because there's some. I wanted to. There has to be celebrities that came up to your house and then told you like, "Hey, can you delete all footage?"
You'd
of
be
it?
shocked as many as people don't, and we'd tell you all
Really?
about that.
Oh,
yeah.
there we had someone that I'm not going to say his name that was there on Halloween. I was like, hey, are you sure, the cameras? And he's like, yeah. Like, oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, but we're always good at, if so long as they're not doing anything crazy.
The odd part is there's always somebody you've never heard of that's not big, that's nobody. That's like, hey man, if I come over, is it cool if I'm not on camera? I'm like, you're a
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Verizon guy. Like,
Yeah, no one will care.
yeah.
We're like, bro, it's good. You're going to be all right, bro. You're going to be all right, all right?
Yeah, there is no career to ruin.
Verizon guy. He's like, when I switched to Sprint.
Thank you so much for having us
Oh,
on.
we
Yeah,
love
man,
being
we
here,
love
man.
having you
Thank
guys,
you.
man. It's
Yeah.
always fun to have you guys stop by.
Yeah, Florida Man Games March 1st. Use promo code Busey,
Yep.
and
Save some money.
We'll talk to you guys again.
right.
We'll see you again.